My show, my rules. All right, let's talk a little bit about today. First off, I know I don't look very good. And not because of low self-confidence issues, or competence issues in this case. The water in my building has been off all day because they're fixing something with the pipes. So I've had no shower, I'm drinking out of a bottle. Like, today has been a day, to say the least. Also, guess what? It's laundry day. The only clean shirt I have is a nice shirt. Fucking deal with it. I'm not trying to dress up. I don't care what you think of me. Okay. With that out of the way, let's talk about what's happening today. There's going to be a King of the Hill with several players. Some pre-planned, some we may pick up as we go, but there's a hard stop at about 8 p.m. Pacific because today's stream is sponsored in a small weird way thanks to my friend Corvus, who you could probably see down there somewhere in the bottom corner of the screen. As many of you know, we've been using the bounty system to fund a lot of our events and tournaments, but lately for the last 15 days, I've been having an issue with the bounty board and I can't pick up new bounties. So here's what we're doing today. Kara has provided a portion of today's prize pool. I mean, let's be honest, I just love throwing StarCraft events anyways, so I don't mind throwing cash out for this. But to explain really quick, because I can't access bounties and she can, she's going to be running a bounty later today. I am going to specifically raid and host her to boost her numbers. And in return, Kara has paid a small portion of today's prize pool to make this event happen. Woo! So I know it's a little confusing, but hopefully that makes sense. I've put it as a sponsor, partially because Kara is my friend. Let's just be completely honest with this. She's one of my favorite people to hang out with. And I have no problem helping her get a little bit of viewership. I would have done this even if there wasn't money involved, let's be honest. But, as I said, because she has access to bounties and I do not, it's a good way for both of us to win. At any rate, we have a best of 3 on the lower side of the hill, kicking things off. But as we go through, we're going to get progressively better and better players. We do have some people like Silky and Future who want to play later tonight. But we're going to be starting with Psystorm Gaming's Penguin versus a lesser-known Caleb Arrakis, who we've actually cast on the channel before, but not very often. At any rate, we are in the lobby for both players. Let me see. You bros ready? Also, guys, there is a small, itty-bitty stream delay today. This is due to, what's up? This is due to the fact that we have a couple people playing that we're not so familiar with. We want to prevent cheating. Oh, well, maybe I can time this out correctly. Apparently, I have perhaps a host or a raid incoming, which doesn't help when you're on a 60-second delay. So, you know, that's great. If I've timed this out correctly, thank you, dear user, for hosting us. And in about 60 seconds, I'll get really hyped and excited. But the players are ready. Let's get into Kairos Junction. Now, I'm actually fully unaware if my predictions have corrected themselves through the course of time or not, but welcome one and welcome all to this best of 3. There is prize money on the line for every match played tonight, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do, to the top left, one thing you didn't see through the intro is he canceled a drone in order to go for this earlier pool. We do have the Blue Zerg, Caleb Arrakis. And his opponent to the lower right, the Green Zerg player from Psystorm Gaming, we've got Penguin. And I've got to set an alarm. Hang on. Okay, Google. Okay, Google, set an alarm. Fuck, why is it not working? Hang on. Okay, Google, set an alarm 6.5 minutes from now. When this alarm goes off at precisely 5 p.m. Pacific, I should shout out a host. And if I've predicted it correctly, it will time out well, and it's going to be the sickest thing on stream. Otherwise, it's going to look stupid and foolish, as I am. At any rate, we do have $25 on the line, which isn't much, but remember, this is the bottom of the hill, and this is a best of 3. Things progressively will ramp up as time goes on, and we'll eventually get to best of 1s that are worth $50, and possibly more, depending who and what's playing for tonight. Now again, it's a bit of a silly meme, this banner I've made, but just to be aware, that's what I've already explained it once. I'll explain it again a little bit later. But Caleb Arrakis is someone who's actually probably, Penguin's gonna hate me when he sees this. I want to see a little bit better than Penguin, but that's only because I don't know where Penguin's at right now. However, that's okay, because as we observe the games, we'll get a good feel for what the players' skill levels are as the brackets and the hill climbs on. Instead of Kairos Junction, we should have called it Kara's Junction. Oh, that's good. That's clever, but also way more effort than I'm willing to put into this. At any rate, one of the key things here is Penguin has pulled his workers away, so they've stopped mining, but in doing so has tried to prevent his hatchery from dying. Some Zerg players are willing to sacrifice this. Now the Queen's out, he's got a much better fight on his hands. This Queen is worth a lot of damage. So these Zerglings from Caleb Arrakis have a bit of a clock, but if they get a surround on this Queen, because Penguin leaves it exposed, oh no, things could go badly. BaseTradeTV, you sound like Doc from Back to the Future. Gigawatts, Marty! I don't think I do, but that's my best impression, so that's all you'll get. M says now I have a alarm for 6.5 minutes from... Great, you can join me in real time. Also, hey, well, we didn't get things started off quite immediately. Yui737 resubbed for 9 months to say, damn, only 9 months? Thought I had more. Well, you know what? I look forward to when you hit 12, bro. El Bracho, thank you for the 49 months. This is almost big 50. Oh, hold the phone. Penguin's speed kicks in. And as those nitros kick in, he gets on top of this Queen, kills the rest of his opponent's lings, jumps on top of the other Queen. Big double surround, and this is a problem for Caleb Arrakis. All his defense, double kill. Another Queen should go down here. This is expensive. 150 minerals down per Queen. 450 in total, because that's math for you, baby. I just did math on stream. Don't ever do that if you're a broadcaster. You'll regret it. But I took a risk, and so did Caleb Arrakis with his earlier pool. That was a good segue, unlike his opening. Ooh, I'm on fucking fire. Silky smooth. But as things do go on, Penguin's got an inherent advantage through speed, and through, most importantly, gas above all else. Caleb Arrakis, okay, he matches the worker count, he matches the army supply. It doesn't look like it should be that bad, but you have to keep in mind, not only will Penguin have speed, soon he's going to have banelings, and realistically, Caleb Arrakis is far behind. But with some passive play, maybe can make it up a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this account, named Jessica Chernega, made 7 minutes ago, is not my good buddy Zombie Grub, and instead an imposter. And we don't do imposters here. So enjoy your ban, get more creative with a name, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, Penguin's lair is on the way too. Again, just continuing to get leads. But this is where the passive play I was talking about might work out. As Caleb Arrakis is a little bit behind, he has gone for a Roach Warden. He's got a wall off. He's gone for weapon upgrades. Maybe in a small scale fight, he can start turning the tides of battle, because the type of unit of Roaches can fight much better than the type of units Penguin currently has. Penguin was really prepared for the Ling fight, and I think he was expecting Caleb to go for a counter all-in after taking that damage. But we'll see how things progress. This isn't a King of the Hill, is it? Yes, it is. The winner of this best of 3 will stay on. They will win some prize money, and then continue to try to add to their prize money as we advance through the players. As I said, the first couple matches are best of 3s just to get everybody warmed up with the lower side of the King of the Hill, but they become a lot more intense once we hit best of 1s and continue getting better and better players. But I did not time this out correctly at all. Google said I had 2 minutes to go until I had to do the shout out for the alert, which won't show up on stream because I don't have raid alerts, because nobody ever raids my channel. So holy freaking guacamole, Invader me, well, you Invader V. I was gonna say Invader V certainly surprised me. What a raid! What a Monica S raid! Thank you guys so much. I hope the blanket fort was cozy. We're in space, where things are made out of tinfoil and space age materials. Well, except here, this is Zerg, and this is StarCraft, and this is an old game some of you might not be interested in. But if you like creepy crawly things and bugs, boy, have I got a show for you. But no, realistically, StarCraft 2 is my jam, and I just started streaming like barely 10 minutes ago. We went live with games, so Thank you for invading. I'm sorry that this is a delay, by the way. We have a 60-second delay due to there being prize money on the line. We want to make sure nobody's stream cheating and has an upper edge against anyone else. So for those invaders who stuck around long enough to hear the explanation, please tell the rest of your friends I'm sorry. At any rate, Penguin manages to get a kill on the third base, which is pretty nice. But to be honest, I don't even want to talk about the game. I just want to say that I hope you guys had a good stream. I was hanging out there earlier. I love that she asks and answers weird questions from the chat. But I'm pretty sure, guys, I'm like, because now we're on my channel, right? I'm like 90% sure not only is she an AI, she is also doing a social experiment for a theoretical thesis that doesn't actually exist. And she's doing all of this from the future. Think about it. All right. This game's actually getting to a point where I do need to talk about this and goof around a little bit less because Penguin has advanced this to Mutalisks. Oh, there's my alarm going. See, I was supposed to, apparently, shout out this to coordinate with the time of the raid, but it didn't work out quite so perfectly. So... Thank you for, again, checking the stream out, guys. I don't expect many of you to stay because I know this is a very different type of thing than what you were just watching, but this is my home. This is what we do, and this is kind of a just not really important thing. Just throw it, have some fun, get some North American players playing, watch some bad play styles, but as I had said, we're getting to the point in the game where things are important. You'll notice a green player, I'm trying to really dumb this down for the new guys, has air units and the other guy does not. And the biggest problem is you don't actually have a lot here that shoots up, except for these Hydralisks. So the Mutalisks do have an inherent advantage where they can move around. They can certainly do a lot of damage if Caleb has left his guard down. But Penguin's not going to use these in the typical way in which you would harass. It looks like he's actually bringing a lot of ground units to support this and might just try to roll in with some Banelings. His Baneling speed will be finishing up. These units turn into little green bombs of death, and when they hit units, they explode really big, do a lot of area of effect damage, and they can knock down these Hydras pretty quickly. And if those anti-air units are gone from the fight, then these Mutas, they get to fly over and destroy everything else. So Caleb's in a bit of a precarious spot, but Penguin still hasn't actually pulled the trigger on making a lot of Banelings. He's got the upgrade finished. It's pretty clear to me he wants to use them, but he's not made enough of them yet to really be useful. The army size continues to grow here for our green player too, a lot better than blue. That has a lot to do with the way this game opened prior to all you invaders coming on over. As blue had tried to do something very cheeky at the start of this game, it backfired. Green defended, and now green's the one on the attack. And picking up this spawning pool is a big deal. This allows blue to be able to make some of their most basic units, but luckily for him, he's not. He's not really relying on Zerglings like Penguin is. He's instead relying on these higher tech units like Hydralisks and Roaches. Also, I guess for the older StarCraft fans who maybe haven't watched in quite some time, they have, as of the last year and a half, introduced some skins to the game. So that's why you're seeing some like mechanically looking Zerg stuff over here. And Penguin, unfortunately, is just a basic pumpkin spice latte bitch with his non-skinned units. Or maybe he's just too cheap to buy the skins. You be the judge. We're gonna judge him quite harshly. At any rate, I guess some cool facts to throw out there about Green. He actually is one of the managers for one of the pro NA teams called Psystorm Gaming. He's not too bad himself, but he's certainly not somebody who has made his career in being a pro player, even though once upon a time he tried to. That being said, he's still good enough to compete, and that's why we see him playing out here tonight. Blue's a little bit of a lesser-known up-and-comer in the North American scene, but again, for the new people, because I don't know what you do and don't know about coming here, tonight is a King of the Hill event. Players will knock each other out and have a chance to try and stay on. We are currently at the very, very bottom of the hill, so we've introduced some lower league players. Well, not lower league, that's wrong. The lower skilled players compared to what we'll see later on to give this a shot, but ooh, Big Fungal Growth managed to reveal some of these lurkers. The lurkers do some big chunks of damage as we watch Spines fire, but they don't take out enough of the Hydralisks. The Mutas cannot go in. If Penguin were able to remove enough of these Hydralisks from play, his Mutalisks could clean up with what's left, but unfortunately, and well, fortunately for Blue, he manages to hold on. But that's not the only attack that's going down. Here on the top side, we got a bunch of Lings running around, and oh no, there's a big hole in the wall. Recognizes this, he floods on through. Caleb's gates were down and open, and he runs right into the main base. Now, I'm not sure if he'll be able to get a full surround on all these units for kills, but it's certainly distracted and pulled a lot of Blue's units out of position. But he didn't fully take the bait. On the other side of the map, he's left units behind to defend. The Mutalisks fly in. They're trying to kill these lurkers, but his own lurkers don't survive. And in fact, while a lot of drones do ultimately go down for Blue, he survives. which is something I didn't expect with a run by that large. 26 workers dead in total and only having killed 3 of the green flying monsters. Well, Caleb's actually in a pretty good spot defensively. With the way this game opened, I honestly thought Caleb was just going to auto-lose to some kind of counterattack out of Penguin, but Penguin's choice to go this direction with his tech, to go to the skies instead of take to the ground, has drawn this game out. He's got a lot of money in his pocket right now, almost 2,000 minerals. That's too much money! Too many minerals, Penguin! Did you forget how to macro? What are you doing? I'm teasing. I'm also friends with Penguin, just as an FYI to the new people, but he is floating an abnormally large amount of money, and without much gas to back it up, I don't know what his game plan is, because, oh, it's a Nidus Worm. He's playing... He is playing outside the realm of what we call normal, and I'm going to use heavy air quotes here for normal. As the Nidus network comes down, he'll be able to sneak units underneath the ground and pop up anywhere on the field that he wants. So maybe this is a continued tactic of what we saw before with the Zerglings, but instead of running through the front gates, you tunnel underneath the entire map. More lurkers set up here on the right side. Look at a creepy crawl their way into the base. These infestors are pretty important. That big green fungal growth you saw earlier not only slows units in place, it deals 30 damage to anything afflicted, and it reveals burrowed units, such as these lurkers, which is going to be pretty key because Caleb doesn't have a lot of reliable detection at the moment. Meanwhile, a 4th base gets taken from both. I am honestly just a bit shocked this game has gone on as far as it has, but it's nowhere close to over. Resources lost are nearly identical as these fights have gone on. Penguin's still got a much better worker count, and make no mistake, I very much believe, oh, with a 5th base too, excuse me, I believe Green should still be very much in the lead this game. He would have to take a really bad fight to throw this lead away. Green flying monster, hey, don't make fun of me, there's a bunch of cool new kids here that came from the blanket fort. I don't have a hot chick body to show off or a weird crazy personality, so I gotta try and be educational, right? Question mark? No, but for those who don't know, this is very far from a professional stream. We like to just kind of chill and fuck about, frankly. But as people are hitting that sponsor command, I'll explain that a little bit after the game's over, so we have some time to breathe. But Hive, ooh, is actually finishing up for Caleb. This is the highest tech building Zerg can go for to allow him to access the rest of his units. But Nidus Worm comes down to the main base. Caleb has vision of this. He knows this is here. We check his vision. He sees it. He's responding. And Penguin's not going to be able to unload from this. There's a couple of key things about a Nidus Worm, though, that many of you may not know, whether you're new to the game or returning from days of old from that host. And that the Nidus Worm has a bunch of armor on it now. So it's very difficult to actually kill unless you've got your real army on it. So stopping it from burrowing is already a task. Furthermore, units unload almost instantaneously now. Before, they would come out one at a time, one after the other. Now they come out like quick, like stupid quick. So if you actually get this Nidus Worm up and out, and you penetrate that ground in the least non-double entendre way possible, then you get your whole army out almost immediately. You'll probably see this here in a moment with Penguin. But he's got a lot of potential to run by, but a lot of his units are weak. They're literally classified as light units. They're not meant to do much than harass. These are his heavy-duty fighters. And comparatively, he doesn't have as many heavy-duty fighters as Caleb does, but oh, his heavy-duty fighters can't be seen! Splits! Rains death from above! And while this might not be Overwatch with Farah, it's still equally scary. He moves in, and oh, he just chunks away at this army. I love the burrow and unburrow. This is thanks to a Hive tech ability Penguin has called Adaptive Talons, or his opponent will have in just a moment too. This allows the lurkers to come up and down instantly instead of taking a few seconds to burrow. Kind of like the Nidus Worm, I guess, a little bit. But another Nidus Worm tries to come into the main base. Hydras are here to stop it. Gets shut down. You have a brutal voice, man. Thanks? Question mark? I'll take it where I've had a lot of comments. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. We'll just leave that one with a question mark. Catches some of the queens out here. Mutalists are forced to back away. Penguin's still very insistent on trying to make this Nidus Worm play work. And believe you me, guys, if he can actually pull this off, this is such a sick win. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get it up. Oh, unless he guards it this time. He sends the Mutas into the main base, takes care of those Hydras, and now by the time the army responds, that Nidus Worm will be up and running. So the question is, can he get enough units out of this Nidus Worm in time to fight his opponent's army? I think Caleb's recognized timing won't be on his side, so he has started to back away, but oh my god, a flood of lurkers into the main base. There's not as many units coming out of this as I thought there might be, but the lurkers are still very dangerous. Oh my god, they just shred everything on the ground. You're seeing some weird effects on the air units. All you gotta know is that's area of effect damage, and they're pretty fragile units. So Penguin has to back away with how expensive they are. Vipers will counter this. Lurker's still taking a hell of a fight over here on the right side, but he's almost done. He cleans up and picking off some of the infestors, so this trade still goes somewhat even. In a very weird, unexpected way, the resources lost are very, very close to one another. I think Penguin missed an opportunity to send these Zerglings in, but oh, no, he didn't. There's Lurkers there waiting, and I think he knows about it too. I've seen a lot of ZVZs, but most of them end early. Rarely do they go on this prolonged, but these guys are actually fighting it out. Now, Lings, again, these are your tier 1 most basic units a Zerg player can make. And he's having some trouble dealing with these as they run into the base, but he will ultimately stop them before they cause too much damage. Yes, they pick up some nice expensive units. It trades out a little bit better for green, but all in all, both players are kind of in the late stages of the game, and green has got money to lose. He's got almost 10,000 minerals in the bank. Like, shame, Penguin, shame. Why do you have so much money floating right now? There's no reason. I understand the gas, right? You don't know what you want to make. You make it 7 Vipers? No problem. You want to make 20 more mutas? No problem. But why, in the name of flippin' good graciousness, do you have 8,000 minerals floating? To me, it's not bad, right? This is something where you can recover later if you take losses, but I think this is where you can start sacrificing money. This is his lead. If you knew nothing about this game, and all you had to do was compare the amount of money these two guys have, you know instantly Green's got more to work with. This means Green has more bodies to throw at his opponent. Green has more opportunities to take a bad fight and still continue on through the game. And I think that's an opportunity missed because while he's sitting there doing nothing, he's also gaining nothing from it either. This isn't like a bank where you get compound interest over time. Use it before you lose it. It's kind of the logic of StarCraft 2. But, ooh, speaking of losing things, this base under a lot of trouble. There's a lot of Vipers in play. Now, these units I haven't really explained to the newcomers just yet, but they've got some very interesting abilities on them, one of which is Blinding Cloud. The other is Abduct. Now, you're going to see someone go licky-licky with some big tongue action, I'm sure, at some point, and that sounds a lot more lewd than I intended to be, but they can grab units from across the field and yoink them, get over here, to the army of yours. So it's easy to pick off 1 or 2 units at a time and gobble them up Hungry Hippo style. But not using those. And these are so expensive. To give you guys an idea, the average Zerg player, when we see this matchup play out, you're going to see like 4 or 3 of these. You rarely see somebody dive into 7 unless they're playing against Terran or if they're playing against Protoss. Didwit! Thank you for the 36 months. He says, did you forget our child? Wait, did you pick up our child from preschool? Okay, dude, I got some bad news. I know I told you I was taking him to preschool, but I actually gave him up for adoption. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just, it's better this way. Less responsibility. I gotta focus on streaming. I don't got time for that in my life, dude. All right, now I want to see some Blinding Clouds. I didn't explain Blinding Cloud very well for the new people, but just so you guys are aware, Blinding Cloud will make it so units within the cloud cannot shoot ranged abilities. They can still punch in melee, but they can't actually shoot at a ranged distance, and that's where these Blinding Clouds come into play. Both players covered in Blinding Clouds. Nobody is moving in this fight except for these demons in the sky. Mutalists are trying to focus everything on the ground. Infested Terrans come out. Penguin's got to get out of there, though. That's too much anti-air for him to comfortably handle. Although he's going to push through with only 9 Mutalisks left. This is so risky. Those purple rocket launchers deal a ton of damage, each of them shooting for 17 damage per shot. And these units are essentially free. They don't cost anything other than energy from the infestors. So as time goes on, it costs him nothing. But I did not expect, like, Game 1 to go on for 20 minutes. Again, to give you guys an idea of averages in StarCraft 2, a ZVZ average game is going to go and run 5 to 10 minutes in most cases. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but in most cases, that's a safe average, 5 to 10 minutes. Here we are in minute 20 of the game. It should give you guys an idea of just how far the distance of this has gone. There's some cool things to bring up for it, though, but Penguin making a big move here. A mistake, to say the least, as he sacrifices everything. I have to assume that is some form of BM, because there's no way he just accidentally gave away that much money in air units. Like, that is... What the front... All right, as things have traded out, the thing I would like to highlight again for both of these guys is that they are pretty evenly matched for one another. You're gonna see a lot of games of StarCraft 2. It's a 5-minute long game because somebody dumpsters the other player, and it's no fun to watch. But these guys have been truly back and forth. Penguin now moving towards Broodlords, a unit we've not seen in this game in quite some time in this matchup. But we do have, with them coming out to play 20 minutes into the game, a pretty big solid air dominance. They're going to create a bunch of free units. They're going to deal a ton of damage. Big surround on Blue's army, but Lurkers are sending him to freedom? No, the Abducts come in, he yoinks over the Broodlords. They're so expensive, he can't afford to lose them like this. They're his literal last line of defense, but Caleb pushes through. GG's get called, and after way too long, Caleb Arrakis takes game number 1. Whoo! Whoo! All right, well, map 1 done. We got possibly 3 to go between these two. However, as I said, it's only these first couple of matchups that are best of 3s. Later on, they become best of 1s, thus a little bit more high stakes. But first map was Kairos, second map is Cyber Forest. Let's go get this hosted. So hello again, thank you Invader V and everybody coming from her stream. I don't have a blanket for it. I got some covers blocking the kitchen, so you can't see my roommate from time to time. That's the closest I can get to it. But yeah, I love hanging out on her stream. I'm not sure how all you guys found out about her. She's I guess really popular on live stream fails. I'm not really like a super live stream fails kind of guy, but I have a friend who was. And they're like, check her out. And dude, just like that energy, it's crazy. It's manic. And I don't even believe it's totally real, but I fucking love it. So I hope you guys are having a good time. If you stuck around, you're cool in my books. But if you didn't, well, you sucked. There you go. Also, we don't have a bracket set up for this. Luckily, I am prepared. Okay, hang on one sec. There we go. I am prepared because I brought this. I brought this just in case. I try to open this, but fail miserably. Because not only does this have markers that I need to make a bracket with on a piece of paper, as I said, I brought this just in case. All right, guys, we're going to hop into Cyber Forest for game number 2. Let's get into it. And I don't have a cool intro for this one, so we're just going to stop being autistic with the briefcase and get game number 2. And I guess, where would I start this? At the bottom? Because it's a King of the Hill. You're starting at the bottom and going up. So, Penguin versus Caleb. Just Caleb Arrakis. Why am I being lazy? No, it's his full name. Arrakis. At the bottom of this hill. We'll get those brackets updated for you shortly. I want to talk a little bit about the sponsorship for today. I want to talk a little bit about the game, but let's first introduce these players spawning here in the top left side of the map. We can call him 8K Andy because he likes to float minerals. We've got the Green Zerg Penguin. And he's put in the bottom right. Oh my god, did I not notice this whole time he's a fucking Shrek logo? We've got Caleb Arrakis. Now, there's that weird thing with Kara. I want to explain this really quick because many of you won't care about this, the new people. And if you don't care about this, fine. Just tune me out for like 30 seconds, okay? But for the StarCraft diehard fans here, you know we've been using Twitch bounties to funnel and fund Twitch events. Not stuff like this, but bigger leagues of things. We just finished, by the way, hey, a little bit of a fucking brag here, I'm gonna be honest. We just wrapped up Season 5 of the Ting Open, which was the $6,000 US prize pool. We just finished it up like 3 days ago here on my channel. So that being said, we're looking to start a new season of things, and thus we need a little bit of cash. Now, my bounty system is not working on Twitch. I have no idea why. It just isn't. Kara, my friend Kara Corvus, hers is. So what we're gonna do after this stream is done is we're gonna raid Kara, and it would be my greatest like gratitudes if you guys stuck around for like 5 minutes just to check out her stream for the promotional ad that'll play, because she is providing part of the prize pool today. She's given us some money to make this happen in exchange for that host so that she gets more money from having more viewers on that bounty. So that's the explanation of today's weird cross-promotional sponsorship. But the other part of it, too, is I am good friends with her. She's probably one of my better friends on Twitch here, so I would probably just do this for her anyways. This just turns into a win-win situation for both. But we do need to talk about some weird things that are going down here. First off, thank you for the bits. I'll give you a proper shout in a second. But this +1 melee coming quickly out of Caleb Arrakis is highly, highly unusual. It does mean he's probably going to get very aggressive with these Zerglings, probably very dedicated with these Zerglings. But what you guys have to understand is +1 if unscouted. and unproperly prepared for by Penguin, this can catch players off guard to the point where they just lose and they don't really understand why. Why are your Zerglings better than mine? This doesn't compute. So if Penguin can sneak a Zergling across the map and scout this in time, he can prepare differently. If he just wants to go and match this like mano a mano, he will lose every single battle by a +1 weapons upgrade. But, oh, wow, that was a lot of bitty bits. Thank you for the 1,500 bits, Mike Zeckham. He says, okay, the case joke was worth it. I'll have to save that one, put it in my back pocket. I got a bunch of dumb prop jokes lying around my room, but that's the only one nearby for tonight. Anywho, in any way, people are asking, what is the bounty system? So, the bounty system is something, it's kind of like Twitch being the middleman for sponsorships instead of like an agent or you going directly to a sponsor. So for example, one of the sponsorships we had a few weeks back was to watch an episode of this show that was coming out on Adult Swim. Now, I thought this show was actually funny, so we watched it and I didn't mind it. But the idea is that we are paid per viewership of people who watch that video on our channel when we play it, right? And then Twitch obviously makes a bit of cash, and then they give us some cash too. That's the bounty system. You can take it or leave it. The problem is, for me, like I said, I can't currently take it because I can't properly access the bounties. They were working, and then for some reason, now they are not. This isn't a crybaby thing. This isn't a whiny thing. I don't need your money, guys. We're still going to do cool stuff with or without it, but it is something where we can get bigger and better and all this good stuff. So consider checking her channel out after the stream is done. You don't have to, but if you do, it'd be awesome. Anyways, we got two different attacks happening right now. Penguin has fully tried to wall, but he misses the timing. That's it. He's dead. This is going to be GG. I don't even need to cast this. Ooh, Caleb Arrakis steals victory, and Penguin will sadly lose this first series today. Easy come, easy go. But next up, we got a best of... Well, another one. Hang on. Yes, with Raze coming up. Sorry, I had to double check my player list. I had already forgotten what was going on. But yeah, next up should be Raze coming on to challenge. If Raze is not available, we will grab somebody else. But is Raze Epic here? I've set up a couple of players so we can rotate if somebody's busy or goes AFK or something. The other thing too, I'm not dressed up for you guys, okay? Today's laundry day and the water in my building's off, so it feels bad, man. This is the only clean shirt I had available. I've seen several comments about this already. We had Flotch come in. My boy Flotch, thank you for the 34 months. Tier 3. Ooh. Flotchy boy, thank you so much. This is also a long time no see. Yeah, we've been doing weird broadcasts and weird hours. I'm glad to see you in chat, man. Still my best Deadpool brother from another mother. But okay, Raze versus Caleb. All right, we'll get this best of 3 going here pretty quick. In the meantime, I have to update this. So Caleb actually advances to fight Raze versus... I'm doing arts and crafts right now because while I could open up Photoshop and do something dandy over there, who's got time for that? So here's our sweet bracket for the day. My camera's color is off, and I don't know why. But Penguin versus Caleb Arrakis. Caleb wins 2-0. He moves on to fight against Raze. This is actually really not working out. Whatever. The winner of this will move on to fight against a player named Epic in the last best of 3, and then after that, they're best of 1s, and we get down to crunch time. But they're doing vetoes, so we'll need just a moment to figure out what's going on. WCS Day 1 was today. Yes, so WCS has officially started, and by the way, WCS has completely fucked me out of being able to broadcast correctly for this month. Because between WCS and GSL, they are eating up 4 out of 7 days of the week, and on top of that, they're taking up like 80% of the time zones, so things have been a little bit rough. But I'm not here to complain. It is just, yeah. WCS season has started for WCS Winter. You'll see Zombie Grub, In Control, Fear Dragon, and Nathanius broadcasting over on the main StarCraft channel. It's not happening right now. It's finished for the day, which is why I timed this to be in the afternoon or evening. But yeah, for pretty much the next 3 days, if you tune in at any time, you're likely to catch the StarCraft channel casting WCS stuff. But Caleb appears to have disappeared, question mark? You know, I heard there's a LAN in Vancouver next month. I have not heard this. What LAN is going on in Vancouver, Flotch? Quick shout out, by the way, Vancouver. What's up? He knew I'd be here, so he dressed up. Hybrid. So also, I want to talk about something cool that came out recently, and that's this new mod tools Twitch has put together. Whoa. That's not... Whoa. Whoa! That's not what I'm trying to do. Let's go ahead to the other screen. Where we can talk about this. All right. Let's... Right here, it's really cool. You can open up a user's name now. And this is really handy for moderators, but also means a broadcaster. And that's why I show this off to you guys while we're waiting for the videos. Because I don't really care what information you see on this page at all. But now you can see their message history, which is great. Because before you had to go to external websites like Overrussell and otherwise to see what these guys have written in the chat in the past. You can see how many times they've been timed out. You can see exactly who has timed them out. Now, keep in mind, these are mod tools. You plebs don't get to see this, but I think it's good information to put out there if you do happen to have your own Twitch channel or you're moderating for somebody else's Twitch channel, because these are new, like, as of today. You can also see any comments that mods may have tagged you with, so it's like known troublemaker, or in Hello Zergling's case, has a stupid name. Either way, it's really cool that they put these features in, and it's not something I knew I wanted, but now it's something I feel like I definitely needed. So for people who mod other channels, or maybe you're a young and upcoming streamer aspiring to do great things, Twitch has actually just put some really cool tools in. And to be fair, I'm like #1 guy who's ready to shit on Twitch for doing dumb stuff. But I will say this is cool. This is great. I see no downside to it, and I'm really happy that they rolled it out. I just wish I knew it was coming. But okay, I think I have bought enough time. We have game 1 figured out by the players. Super Saiyan 2, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Coming in for 10 months says, I feel old now. Yes, me as well, additionally, and also. But thank you very much for coming back. Sorry, I'm walking and talking here, so trying to get these players into the game. They're saying ready. Cyber Forest. Is Raze ready? I'm not sure why Warren's trying to hijack his way into the game, but let's get into Cyber Forest. So again, this is another best of 3. $25 on the line, but after this, we start getting into the 50s. We start getting into the best of 1s. We can get bigger money, bigger rewards, bigger players. But Cyber Forest is a pretty... I don't even know what you want to call it. Normal map. There hasn't been a lot of weirdness to it, except for the couple of air blockers, but we'll talk about that in a bit. For now, let's hop into game. It's map number 1. Brand new best of 3 kicks off here in the top left. He's got Shrek on his side. He's gonna go far. It's Caleb Arrakis. His opponent in the bottom right also... I don't know why I said also. But his opponent is in the bottom right. See, this is how you know I'm fucked up already. Let's rewind that. Okay, his opponent in the bottom right, the purple Protoss. From Sidestorm Gaming, we've got Raze. Raze used to be Terran, as a fun fact for most people. It was a while ago now. It's not recent, but he did swap over to Protoss. I'm not sure if he's had better success. I'm not sure if he's had better tournament runs with it, but the reality is he hasn't gone back to playing Terran, so I gotta imagine he's enjoying it a little bit more. I want to shame people who Raze swap a little bit, but at the same time, we've seen some really great success out of players like TLO, went from Terran to Zerg, from Neeb, who went from Terran to Protoss. You know what, Blizzard? I think I'm seeing a fucking trend here. Maybe fix Terran so everyone stops playing Terran. That was unnecessarily confusing to read out loud. But I also have to go send somebody a message here. Just give me 1 sec here, folks. Okay. As we continue on with this, though, as I said, Cyber Forest has a couple of weird attributes to it. Several of you won't understand what I mean by this, but for example, these trees have created some weird air blocking paths for some spots of the map, but not all spots of the map, and the inconsistency has been what's making it difficult for players to figure out what is and is not pathable. There's also really big main base entrances. So Cyber Forest, we've seen some cheeky builds. Shout out to Kelazur, who tried to proxy 4 racks here, lift up to the high ground here, failed in attacking, but Was a cool move nonetheless.
It's not a phase. I was born around attack.
Shut up, Wardy. Go back to your own time zone. But thank you, Juvia Loxer, for the 301 bits. Also, updates on the Rat Attack Cup, because this seems to be some fake news, super drama between myself and Wardy. Wardy and I, in general, are having a hard time with this month, as I had mentioned moments ago. Oh, is someone lagging out? Is it me? It better not be. Oh, it's Raze. That's awkward. We're having a hard time finding time to schedule events because of WCS. I want to be clear. I am currently speaking with people about modding the game. I want to make this Rat Attack Cup happen, but there's just a lot of things that are slowing it down. So just like no fake news. I didn't collect donations for a tournament that never happened. I just collected donations for a tournament that hasn't happened yet.
Mom, it's not
and
a
in fact,
phase. I was born around attack.
Shut up! In fact, we never even said we're collecting donations for a tournament. We just took money from donations to make a tournament with. But that doesn't change the point. The semantics aren't important. We're still working on it. It's still going to happen. It's just unfortunate that it keeps getting delayed. So thank you for the 301 bits. Hello Zergling. Hello Zergling has an awesome name. Sure. But looks like Raze is DC'd. We'll give him a moment to come back online. If he doesn't come back soon, then maybe we'll just move on without him. I'm going to just quickly throw up a break, though, while we see what's going on, and I try and get a hold of our player, so be back soon. Okay, good news. We're back. Raze is back online. Whatever that hiccup was appears to be fixed. We're gonna do a little cool feature in StarCraft called Recover Replay. So this is gonna force us back into the game we just played. It's going to, here, you guys can watch it with me, first person. It's gonna ×8 the speed. We're gonna go super wicked fast. There's gonna be this replay blocker up so nobody can see anything, so neither player will get information that they didn't have. And then it will put these players back in their own shoes, and we'll start off from ideally a little close to where we left off. I actually rewound time by about 10 seconds just to be safe. So we are getting back into the same game, the same spawn locations, the same players. There we go. Once the players tell me they're ready, you guys get to cool. Watch this. This is so cool. 3, 2, 1. I really wish that countdown was available for when you did anything else in this game, like pausing it and unpausing it, for example, would be super handy. But regardless, we are back into it. It's a robo coming down at a Raze. This is actually a little bit of a strange thing to me because Raze, dear Protoss friend, everyone else is going Stargate, so why are you not? Stargate's into quick Oracle, Phoenix, followed up by double Robo, are pretty much standard on all the other servers. So I'm not saying Raze is wrong for doing this, but I'm wondering if he plans to get a little bit cheeky with this as his opener, or if this leads into the more old school Twilight Council build. All right, I got some more bits coming in from Juvia Loxer. Thank you for that. Also, nude but tasteful. First off, amazing name. This is actually cool AF. I came over from V's channel and pleasantly surprised at this channel. Well, dude, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much. And please know that if you fuck off, don't feel any guilt. I'm just glad you came by to check us out. But you took the extra step to write something nice in chat, so you've won. I'm gonna cry. Because my own chat doesn't even say nice things to me. I had to do this weird comparison, you know. If I say hi in my Twitch chat, in fact, I'll do this on a delay, so you'll have to scroll up and chat. You'll see me have written hi. And I guarantee you, like, nobody will have responded to me. But if I go to V's stream, if I go to Sky's stream, if I go to anyone else's stream and I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? I feel like I'm walking into a sitcom with this friendly family and everyone in chat's like, oh, hey, BaseTradeTV, it's so nice to see you. How you doing? But not on my own fucking channel. Everyone here is a jerk. So thank you. Remember, there's 60 seconds of delay. So as you're hearing me say this, even more time has passed that people have not reacted to me in Twitch chat. So again, thank you for taking a few seconds to write something very nice, nude, but tasteful. In fact, get out of chat, Rifkin. It's our safe space. See, I can't even go in my own chat. Ah, I hate streaming on Twitch. Shut up, Zombie Grump. You're not even here. Go back to America. But all right, we got 4 depths in the warp prism. That much isn't so strange, but what is the double forge behind this. So the warp prism can shuttle units around. It can pick up and drop. It's got a little bit of range to it too, as you guys just witnessed. Everything gets kind of sucked into it from a distance. These adepts can do some serious damage. But what's weird is the 1/1 that follows this up from Raise. I'm not gonna claim this is a bad move, but it is something really unorthodox and something we don't see players do. Part of this has to do with the efficiency of taking your own third base, which, by the way, he is now doing, but I'm curious how well this will feed into the follow-up. He's got a Robo Bay on the way, and while we're seeing disruptors out of most players, we may see Colossus come out of Raise. Those will get a lot of benefit from that 1/1. Coronac with the 17 months says, hi, Rifkin, missed you, Bay. Shut up, I know you're lying. Terminator says, I thought you were saying hi to a specific person. I was, to my Twitch chat. None of you replied. Nude but tasteful says, oh, I messed up, I should have been meaner. Yes, you've caught on. There's the male toxicity, masculinity. No, what is it? Look, my chat sucks, okay? All right, focusing back on the game for a moment, though, we do have those 1/1 weapon upgrades finishing up. And while it's something so passive in the background of the game, it's also something you can't really easily scout for. But Caleb's had this Overlord sitting above Raise's main base for God knows how long. And what's worse is there are anti-air units sitting at home doing nothing. I highlight this because it's a little embarrassing, but also a mistake. And Raise, having left this Overlord here, is doing one of two things. Either he wants him to see what he's doing, and maybe there's some super sick mind game play coming out of this, or he just hasn't noticed there's a fucking Overlord in his main base that has full vision on everything he's doing, including tech and buildings. But hey, who am I to judge? Raise, if you watch the VOD back of this, I'm just having some fun. If you take it personally, then maybe get better at the game. Either way, 4th base comes down out of Caleb, and we'll see if he can get ahead from this. I would say he's in a pretty good spot overall, but this kind of side swipe of a Colossus move, I really think is going to be powerful if somehow Caleb has, like, at this point, not realized what's going on. But again, he's got Overlords covering everything. He sees the type of army. He sees a Colossus in play. Now the question is, what's your response to it? It could possibly be Raise is just so confident in his playstyle with his faster upgrades that he doesn't care if Caleb sees this, right? He's like, bro, come at me, I'm Protoss. Everyone balance complains about me for a reason. I'm super fucking strong. And if he comes at this, he's gonna have +2 weapons, he's gonna have +2 armor. Caleb's not gonna be able to fight on the ground. That's where a lot of Zerg players tend to take to the skies, and you make things like Corruptors or Vipers if you really want to fast forward through time. But I don't think Caleb's thinking of any of this. So while I may have in jest made fun of Raise for his, we'll say, lack of maintenance on his main base, it might not ultimately matter. Because here's the other part of it we didn't discuss. Caleb and Raise, I don't know well enough about their MMRs, their skill levels. I don't know what tournaments they've played in. They're both new players to me in a sense. Not new, I've cast them both before, but my point here is I don't know where they're at in the game. So it could be something where they fought on the ladder. Raise is just so much better. He just doesn't give a flying gosh darn. And if that's the case, then it's fine. And what he's doing doesn't really matter. We've sometimes seen that with players where they are just simply better than another player. And sometimes it's only at a specific matchup. But, all right, we got a couple of Banelings. This could create some cool moves. Bane Rain will not one-shot probes unless they have +2 melee upgrades. So in about 30 seconds... Raise might feel the sting of a giant carpet bomb in his main base. We'll keep an eye on this Overlord and watch him flying in. I think he's going a little too soon, though, because it will take 2 Banelings It will literally cut the potential damage of this drop-in by half because he didn't wait a few extra seconds. But, oh, no! The other thing is you can just pull probes right into it and stack them up perfectly. Oh, my God! What a mistake that was. Now, again, with 1 second to go here, this could have been even more damage than it was, but 10 probes is still respectable. It looks like it's triggered Razor's hand saying, screw it, you want to deal some damage to me? I'll deal some damage to you. 4 Colossus, big laser beam, standing tall in the sky, looking to march across the map and deal some damage. He's also got a warp in heading into the natural base, as well as potentially here in the main. Right now, Caleb doesn't actually have enough units to properly split to all these locations at the same time, at least not with ease. And oh, those are some Dark Templar. You don't even have to play StarCraft 2 to know that these are bullshit units. There's no detection for Caleb. Oh no, the Overseer in the main base. He just finished. This is the only thing he has to detect. There's no Spore Crawlers over here. Drones are going down. He's a little bit late with the micro. He splits his DTs across 3 bases, hoping to get more damage for this, but 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was a cool move. Caleb just manually exploded Banelings because he didn't have detection for the Dark Templar. I think that was a really clever move to stop this from getting too out of hand. But it's still, like, units are still dying. He's not out of the woods yet. DT over here in the top right. 17 probes killed. So, excuse me, 17 drones killed. For the 10 workers that blue killed of purple earlier, I think purple has got more than adequate revenge. Also, let's not forget that his forges have been continuing to churn out upgrades this entire time, and he's coming up on 3-3. Our Protoss player is going to be doing so much damage with these Colossus, it's going to be ridiculous. Keep in mind, Caleb has gone all damage, no armor. He is full glass cannon, meaning these Hydras with no armor reduction whatsoever and only 90 health are going to be taking 19 damage times 2 every time these Colossus hit. Plus, they'll be hitting multiple units. So, frankly, all you're going to see is units just disappear off the map. They're going to get deleted. On top of that, you got Disruptor going in for a shot too. That's not getting too much done, but oh, wait! Oh, he almost gets a miracle hit right there. Zealots looks like a Warp Prism continues to be a chaos. In the main base is a big warp in of a ton of Zealots coming over here. They got charged. They blitz the base. This base under attack. He's got some Corruptors out in play, but Caleb is not fighting with the full might of his army, and I don't think he can fight this for very long. He might take down one of these Colossus, but the Stalker should be able to stop this from getting too many more. This has gone a little too hard, a little too far. Well played gets called, and Raze takes game number 1. That's a little bit awkward because, of course, that was recover replay, but the point is I think macro worked out much better for a Protoss player. All strange things considered. But map 2 is going to be on Kairos Junction. I guess we are nicknaming this Kairos Junction. I've just hit the Collections tab because Blizzard can't optimize their game. I'll see you guys in 500 years when it's done loading. Oh, there we go. A little faster than 500 years. Maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic, but it's annoying nonetheless. At any rate, we are getting into the game number 2. Now, this is coming to the end of the best of 3s, and we're going to see a little bit more like cutthroat best of 1s with bigger bucks on the line after some of these best of 3s. But like I said, this is still 25 bucks. It's still a best of 3. At the moment, Caleb is the current king of this hill, meaning that if he wins this one, he will add another $25 into his already existing prize pool. I hate, okay, I gotta be honest, I don't really care about the ethical repercussions of drinking from like plastic bottles or bottled water or anything like that. I just hate it. I prefer tap water. I'm from British Columbia. Our water is great, okay? I hate that the water in the building's off today. But okay, they're ready. Let's hop into it. It's Kairos Junction. I am fucking muted! Ah! Okay, hello, back. Sorry about the smaller delay, later delay. Fuck, whatever. Anyways, yes, Kara is actually sponsoring this melon fee, and yes, she will be streaming later today. The whole point of this tournament is for us to have some fun with StarCraft 2, but part of the prize pool was donated by Kara to make sure that we would host her after things were said and done so that she could complete a Twitch bounty, and thus everybody gets more money, which is cool. But in the top left, with a quick pool coming down, about to be scouted, we have the Blue Zerg player, Caleb Arrakis. In the bottom right, we have the purple Protoss, Psystorm Gaming's Raze. And I guess, I don't know if there's any Invader V people sticking around, but just so you guys know, like everything you're seeing on the channel, this is like a one-man show. There's not some crazy big company behind this. BaseTradeTV started out as a collective of like 6 and 7 friends who like StarCraft 2. And we wanted to make this into this big, crazy like ESL type thing. But gradually, as you all are probably very aware, growing big on Twitch takes time. And all of these people did not have that much patience, and as time went on, each person fell off to the point where about four or 5 years ago, it was just me. So I know my name is BaseTradeTV, and it probably sounds like there's some big company thing, but if you guys like what's going on here, whether it's just me talking bullshit, whether you like StarCraft 2, you like the production that goes on to it, I do all this stuff. So I would love if you'd slap a follow on the channel, maybe check me out in the future. But if you don't, and it's not your cup of tea, totally fine by me. Thanks for stopping by and hearing my message. But it's weird because within StarCraft, it is such a closed community. I often forget what it's like to try and explain who you are to somebody new. I mean, tonight's not a good representation because we normally don't broadcast at these hours. You know, we typically broadcast much earlier in the day and have much higher viewers as a consequence. A weird flex, but okay. But the reason I bring that up is just it's such a different time slot, and it's so weird seeing new faces who probably don't know that we're one of the biggest StarCraft channels there are. So again, I know, subtle brag. It's so strange trying to explain myself to people again, I guess. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and thanks for checking me out. And I'm sure I'll see many of you on her stream more in the future. But yeah, it's a Stargate this time around from Raze. This one's a lot more standard. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he did last game, because it works. He won the game. But I am glad to see he's got some variety in his builds, because a one-trick pony is not something you want to be in StarCraft 2. Gets figured out and gets dealt with. At any rate, we just got some subs coming in. I'm not sure why, but thank you guys both so much. G Fawcett 22 for that Twitch Prime sub, and MJ Walds also with a Twitch Prime sub. You guys are fantastic. On the off chance you two who just subbed are diehard StarCraft fans, you should know about some of the benefits of subscribing. First and foremost, ad-free viewing. We have disabled ads for our subscribers. Now, this may change, I don't know. It's the first time we've ever tried doing this in 6 fucking years. But through the month of January, we've gone ad-free for our subscribers. So, hey, it's something you can enjoy. On top of that, you get replay packs, which we do not post publicly. We only share with our subscribers and Patreon supporters. And a bunch of dumb emotes that frankly are just full of bad memes and terrible drawing because I'm not an artist. So congratulations. Rifkin, the score, thank you. I totally forgot because I was so frustrated at being muted. But yes, it's 1-0 for Raze. This Overlord's got speed attached to it. You don't actually see this happen too often too early. I didn't pay a lot of attention to the Adepts because I was more curious about what else was going on the map, but those did end up, with the Oracle, getting several kills. Was that combined 7? No, 10 drones in total this early is actually pretty good. Caleb Arrakis, who may have not intended to go for an all-in, may be forced into it with only 21 drones remaining. These don't look good for him. Man, I thought you were some random I met at BlizzCon. What? I have been at BlizzCon. BlizzCon every year for the last 3 or 4 years, I think. Although I guess I would just be a random if you don't know me anyways. But oh my god, is that... I didn't even see him in the chat because his name's got a little T. Shakus. I haven't seen you for years. My European brother. It's good to see you in chat tonight, man. Also, it's way past your bedtime. And I'm not playing Overwatch. What are you doing here? No shame, man. It's just cool to see you in chat. It's nice seeing a friendly name once in a while. So many passerbys. I just read the chat rules. Is rule 2 text in parentheses a joke or serious? I don't know what rule 2 is, so let's just go with it serious and play it safe. To be honest, I didn't write our rules, so I don't know what most of them are. I guess that is something a little bit different about my channel from most. I don't actually handle bans and unbans and chat moderation. We actually have a mod squad dedicated to that. And because of that, they have their own rulings, they have their own leader and blah, blah, blah. And while I do have the power to ban him, do stuff like that, I'm actually not in charge of that stuff, guys. So I'm not sure what the rules is off the top of my head, but like I said, play it safe, listen to it. And if you guys ever get banned, make sure to message the mods to get unbanned, because I won't fucking do it unless you pay me under the table, in which case the mods get really upset at me. So I can't really advertise that I do that. I definitely don't do that. I don't not do that either. Stop. These oracles continue to just meander around. Raze isn't finding a lot of opportunity to use them, but more importantly, he's also not losing them. These have a lot of functionality, and I guess for... I don't want to keep catering to the newbies, but assuming some of you guys are still here from V's stream, because a couple of you were typing in chat, these are units that have a lot of spells attached to them. They have no basic auto attack. They can't actually just go in and do something. But their spells are really cool because it gives them a super powerful laser beam that kills things very quickly. They can cast a stasis ward, which will stun things caught within it. They can cast Revelation, which lets them spy on enemy units. These oracles are really great functionally, and that's those are some of those traps going down now that I was talking about. But what's important was the scout from Caleb, because Caleb is coming up against a double Robo player going double Colossus. This is more of the same from last game, but perhaps a little bit less deadly in terms of upgrades, but more deadly because there'll be more units out sooner. Like, Raze isn't dicking around. 2 Colossus production is expensive, but also very, very powerful. Caleb right now has spent so much time playing catch-up. Remember, he lost his drone so early in the game. He's just been droning and droning and droning, and he still has not quite caught up to the point now where he's down almost half the army supply. And the type of units that he has are actually garbage against the type of units that Raze has. Remember, Raze is dealing tons of damage to light armored units, and everything that Caleb has right now is a light armored unit, including these Hydralisks, which are coming out next. Everything is going to be taking bonus damage from these big walk-in, disgusting alien units. Mods should rebel for more pay. If the mods ever fucking showed up, they might get paid. Oh, wait, Jimmy's here. Hey, Jimmy, what's up, dude? Also, I guess a little bit of side note to all this. I am working pretty diligently with Wardy and Dares to find schedules that work for both of our channels so that we're not broadcasting on top of one another. Unfortunately, February is still not figured out at the time of me saying this on stream, but we are working on it, just as a heads up. So, well, that's the well played. That was so anticlimactic. Okay, well, that's Caleb bowing out to Raze, who takes 2-0. Now, I don't know who's quite ready to go next versus Raze. Like I said, we grabbed several players, but here's the brackets page. Oh my god, the light on this is so harsh. I need to turn off those lights. But Raze advances up the hill to go another round, and he'll either be going up against Epic or possibly Future or possibly Silky. I'm not sure who's around or who's doing what. Epic, are you here? If he's not, we will move past him to another player. In the meanwhile, enjoy your ad-free viewing, nerds. If you're subbed to the channel, I am going to go BRB while I try and hunt down these players. Bangdoza, before I do go, though, thank you very much for the 28 months. Hybrid, or Hybrid, says, if I were to get banned, could I get you to unban me if I gift you a sub to Sky for 1 month? Unnecessary, because I use my own money to support my queen. Okay, we are back. Unfortunately, that donation was intercepted by an ad break. Feels bad, man. So I'll wait a few moments to shout that out just to make sure we're all back in time. But I have found Warren, who will be up next on the player roster. So it'll be Warren versus Raze coming up next. This will be the last best of 3. After this, things will be best of 1s with bigger prize payouts available. That being said, thank you, Shakas, for the $5. He says pancakes for all times. Fucking waffles versus pancakes. That is an old debate, my friend. Yikes. Nowadays, we've been talking about pulp versus no pulp and juices. But yikes. That's a good one. Thank you for that throwback, that blast from the past. In the meantime, let's see here. My browser window's all fucked up. All right, so they're doing vetoes. Once they're done their vetoes, we'll get this going. Remember, we've had $50 out in prizing so far, but that's literally going to start doubling soon. This will be the last $25 match. The stakes will raise afterwards. $50 in best of 1s. Oh, Duke Nukem's in the chat. What's up, dude? Snails says, Rifkin, I have a question, but I don't want you to rage at me for it. It's about one of your intros. Snails, you should always expect me to rage about dumb questions. But please, by all means, go ahead and ask. And make sure you at me so I can have a reason to ban you. I mean, answer your question and notice what you said. Juvia, thank you for the 301 bits. And then Under Shaft-chan, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Glad to have you on board. You're actually subscriber 1,400 even. Mwah, thank you very much, dude. Or dudette. Guys, go. Or I'm on a tight schedule tonight. Okay, as long as you are doing it. So I should mention, by the way, speaking of a tight schedule, there's an 8 p.m. hard stop. Now, if this goes on and it's really epic and awesome, that's cool. If it ends early, that's fine too. Oh, hey, there's Kara in the chat. Hey, Kara. But yeah, tonight has a hard stop of 8 p.m. at the latest because I do want to make sure I host Kara and so she can do her promo properly, as we have been talking about before. Hey, Kara, are you, or I guess I'll ask in chat because it's stream delay. Kara, are you streaming yet? I don't think she is yet. All right, they want Kairos for map. Everyone fucking picks Kairos for map number 1. So uninteresting. All right, what's this question? Anyone know the intro Rifkin used for Port Alexander? I tried to Shazam it, and I couldn't find it. You're not going to find it. It's licensed music purchased from a website. This isn't something you're going to find on YouTube, my dude. I'm so sorry. But Kara, call me on Discord real quick. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can get Kara on the stream to talk about what's going on tonight a little bit. But the vetoes are done. We'll get these players going here in a second. Call on Discord quick.
Hello.
Hello?
What's
Kara?
up?
Guys, can you hear Kara Corvus? This is why we're doing a sponsorship tonight. You know how there's like real life Make-A-Wish campaigns? My poor friend is dying.
What the fuck?
And if she's not dying, she's going through second puberty. We're not quite sure what. But hello, Kara.
You're so mean.
But I've explained this a little bit. I just figured, you know, if we got a few you caught me just as we're getting into a game, so timing was kind of nice for this. But I want to explain to everybody in full what's going on. So Kara's got a Twitch bounty. This is for, was it Harry's Razors or something? Or
It's like Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Save. There you go. It's a 5-minute video she's going to play after our stream's done tonight. And because she has helped, she's literally given me money to put to the prize pool tonight, guys. All we can ask is that you stick around and watch her stream for at least 5 minutes or so after this is all said and done. Because my dying friend over here, she's trying to raise money for medical bills. She lives in America. It's so expensive. Listen to her. She's dying, guys.
You can all hear my beautiful voice after this.
Brings a tear to my eye. I'm gonna miss you when you're gone, dude. Also, just heads up, guys. I asked Kara, like, hey, could you send me one picture that I could use to make a little banner thing? And she sent me like 5, and they were all pretty awful. These were the least worst ones we went with. Anyways, Kara, I gotta get this game going. Have a good stream, and I'll definitely catch you later tonight, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I'll see you at Kara's Junction. All right, welcome back, folks. We're in a brand new best of 3. This is not the current king, but the challenger to the king of this hill. In the top left, we have the blue Zerg player from Storm Gaming. It's Warren. His opponent in the bottom right is going to be the purple Protoss, current king of this hill, and 25 bucks in his pocket so far. We have the purple Protoss, Raze. But yeah, so far the prize money's been spread out pretty decently. So we got a 2-0 for Caleb over Penguin. That's $25 to Caleb. Caleb just recently lost 2-0 to Raze. So now Raze has $25 in his pocket as well. That's $50 in prizing for a couple of quick games of StarCraft 2. That's not too shabby. But like I said, we got some more coming up. We got some bigger players, some bigger names, and some bigger prizing as time goes on. Also, I see Merkel and Evan in chat. Hey, you two delinquents. I hope you're having a good evening. I hope you will also go support my poor dead friend Kara. Actually, you know what's crazy? Maybe has anyone ever had this, like, I don't know what you call it, shower thought, where you're like, huh, I've always been in a rainstorm, but I've never seen like the edge of a rainstorm before. The same thing happened with Kara. It was so weird. We were on stream. We were streaming Sea of Thieves together. Everything was perfectly fine. Nothing wrong. And then all of a sudden her voice just starts going. Like from one word to the next type thing. And we watched her get sick on stream. It was so strange. And it was so surreal watching her lose her voice in real time. I suspect this had a little bit to do with her choking herself, but hey, you know, I'm not one to kink shame. Either way, yeah, it's a little bit more about Kara. Haru SOS, thank you for the 36 months. This Pulp, and then he ats me twice. So I didn't think I'd have to do this so quickly, but let's just... Got a bit of a slow opening. I got a few seconds here to do this. Where's, well, I've already fucking lost it on my list, so that's good. Oh, it's using the wrong capture is why. We're going to the other screen. Because, of course, I want to make sure everybody sees this. First off, I'm going to use the new mod tools to add a comment at Haru SOS. Oh, he's already got it banned. Huh. Looks like you fucking got 2 now, mate. This is going on your permanent record. I'll see you in hell. Those new mod tools are really cool, actually. If you guys haven't played around with them, you really should. Super useful. Konaton says, hey, Rifkin, if I want to make a donation to you, where's the best place to do that? I'd prefer if Twitch didn't skim some off the top. So first and foremost, if you would like to donate, my best recommendation would be just clicking the thing down below. Because no matter what you do, somebody is going to skim something off the top. But that little donation button will just go straight to PayPal and not through Twitch or anything like that, if that is your concern. Secondly, if you want your message to show up on stream, make some cool music or whatever, there's a $2 minimum. I'm not saying you have to. If you want to just give me 69 cents, I'm cool with that too, dude. I'm not picky. But just so you're aware. Thank you for your inquiry, dear viewer. Day Bertha, thank you for the 27 months as well. Now we have some lanes looking to get into the base of Raze, but Raze has got a stock here in hold position and then the depth behind it. So Warren will not get in here no matter how hard he tries. It's kind of cool that these guys are teammates. There's not that many teams left in StarCraft 2, so it's even rarer when you get a bunch of them fighting against each other. Unless it's Team Liquid, which for some reason they always, when they were at their peak and they had all their players, would always get matched against each other in like the round of 16, the round of 8 type thing. But, ooh, Warren barely gets there with the Overlord. So the Warp Prism will get vision, and he'll lose this here in a second, but yikes. That's a dead Overlord. Sadly, Raze will not allow his opponent to get a lot of vision like previous. Darius is, why do I have 4 bans and 5 timeouts? You do. Let's make that 6 and 7. All right. I kind of wish... Okay, I know the mod notes are for mods only. I kind of wish the public could see them, though. I would love to just leave some notes there to shame people. Shakas wants to know how many times I've been banned. Dude, it probably doesn't record anything because you haven't been here in so long. I wouldn't know. I'll check in a bit. Because right now, things are about to get a little bit dicey. Raze picks up some Archons. And this micro can sometimes go a long way. This can do what sometimes seems like nothing in terms of damage. It is thus a little embarrassing, but in this case, there's not a lot here to respond to it, so even if he doesn't kill a ton of drones, just pushing them off of mining is already some nice damage done for Raze. On top of this, it's roaches that are coming out, a little bit funneled too. So he'll kill these roaches with relative ease. Dares says, hey, Jibby, I see that you have a timeout. Only one timeout. Look, that is the only time I've ever felt guilty about timing somebody out, ever, was Jibby. And I felt so fucking bad. I was consumed by this for so long. That's my bad, dude. Jibby had cheered what was the equivalent of $1,000 in 1 bit cheer, which is insane. I've never seen anything like that since, and I will likely never see anything like that again. And I wanted to preserve that at the top of the screen, at the top of the stream, by not timing him out, because at the time it would just show the top cheer. And then he did something trolly, and I timed him out to purge the message, not realizing I would remove the cheer donation. Felt so bad, guys. You have no idea. I've never wanted to die inside as much as then. But I wanted to highlight a couple cool things that have happened here. We've been watching, but I want to just explain for those who don't quite follow so closely. A second Warp Prism was made from Raze. This isn't so crazy. It's not so unorthodox. Nobody's heard of this before, but it was unexpected by Warren, who lost his main base, which was notably a lair. So with that base having gone down, it has effectively reset his tech. However, if he's going to all in, then tech isn't something he necessarily needs. Roach speed will finish in a moment, and that's all he needs to be good. That being said, just roaches against this army. Everything here, like the Immortal deals bonus damage, 50 damage to a roach. The Archons deal bonus damage, anything biological, 35 damage, and it splashes a little bit. Like, Raze has half the army supply, but really effective units. We'll see how this plays out. I gotta say, I favor Raze in this situation, but Warren's going for broke on this one. No attempt to remake the main. 2 Archons now come over to the natural base. Nothing there to defend because it's all across the map. Ooh, those Ravagers just get taken out like nothing at all. Sentries. Oh, Archons go down to the... Oh, this changes a lot, actually. With those Archons going down, there's nothing to buffer for the Immortals. He does do a little bit of Warp Prism Micro, scoops up that one Immortal to keep it alive. He'll not save it twice, though. Grabs the other one. Some Zealots warp in now, too, but Warren's army has been whittled down, and keep in mind, guys, while this goes on, there was no recovery for him. So Raze doesn't have to hold well. Raze doesn't have to counter push. All Raze has to do is survive. And I do believe, at the rate this is going, Raze should survive. It's a little bit messy, but he's got this. Warp-ins aplenty available. Keep the Zerglings out. Those Immortals, as long as they're microed even half decently, should keep these roach counts in check. One Immortal does get caught over here. He wastes 3 shots on the Zergling. That's awkward. Probes put away for the mining. Last thing he wants to do is stack up for a Corrosive Bile. Zealots pushing this back slowly, but perhaps surely. Jock is coming in with a tier 1 sub. Now, here's what's fucked up. He used to be a long-time sub on the channel. I don't know what his actual sub count is, but starting from scratch in 2019. Thank you for the new sub, Shakas. Now, remember what I said? He just had to keep him at bay. Let me show you guys why. This income graph would only continue to be better for our Protoss as time goes on, as Warren doesn't have a third base, in this case a main base, nor does he have an accurate amount of, or an adequate amount of drones to continue mining with. So, again, it doesn't have to be great fights out of Raze. He just has to survive. Oh, the probe transfer's a little awkward. Gets caught. The Archon pops off too. Suddenly surviving is looking a little bit more difficult for our Protoss player. He's losing out a lot of his buffer, his big units like these Immortals. He's doing some great micro with. He's keeping them alive, scoops them up in that Warp Prism, shuttles them to the back lines, but as he does this, Dusseldorf, whatever, I can't speak because this just turned its head over and Warren might have just won the game with this. He's going to break the third base, no question about this. Can he push into the... Oh, he can't push into the net. Dude, oh my god. Raze could literally warp in a Wall of Dark Templar. Because without a layer... Oh, there's only one Overseer. Oh, he did actually make a layer. I never caught that. Okay, never mind. He's good. He's got detection. I was going to say, like, if it was no detection, he just warps in DTs and automatically wins the game. But there is detection, so slow your roll. Rifkin got a little too excited. 1-1's almost done for Raze, but it's not going to matter. I really think Warren has done it. With the counterattack, with the all-in, with a brute force. As brute force as you can get, I think he has broken our purple Protoss. Pushing in here. Last couple Archons are popping off. Warp Prism scoops up to keep everything alive best he can, but I mean, this is just the masses. It's a slow loss for Raze, but make no mistake, this game has turned on him. When he had 5 Immortals, this looked doable, but oh my god, he just corrosive bows down the Robo. Now there's no more Immortals being produced. Gateway's desperately coming down on the backside, but there's no pushback. There's no stopping this. His best hope was maybe sniping off that Overseer and making DTs, I think, but it doesn't matter. Hypotheticals or not, it's too late. It's over. Those warp-ins will not suffice. The Overseer is, in fact, here. Tries to make a new Archon out of this, but we're reaching some pretty awkward GG timings because this game is super over. Warren went down to like a really low drone count earlier on, too. Like, some good damage was done, but GGs do get called. Warren takes map 1 in this best of 3. Tech House says, dude, I subbed for shy of 2 years, but I forgot for like a week, lulz. Ooh, that sucks, dude. I wish I had picked up a Partoof as the time is lost. Well, so it might not be forever. It was announced at TwitchCon, and they haven't rolled it out yet, but they are supposed to eventually make it so that we can see the total months subbed instead of just months subbed in a row. And that's kind of what I'm waiting on before we relaunch sending out Partoofs, which, by the way, I want to do this. But like I said, we got to wait a little bit until whenever Twitch comes out with that feature. Spasmodeus, thank you for the 2-month sub. Accurately predicting me spazzing out in that game. Thank you for that. Let me get these players in the lobby. So remember, this is the last best of 3. After this, things are best of 1 and a little bit more cutthroat. And they'll also be worth more prize money. That being said, Year 0 is our next map. Donation coming in from Mech Xavier with those sweet, sweet bassy sounds. Thank you for that. I'll read that out in a second. Let me just see if the players are ready. Warren is ready. Let's hop into Year 0. While I hop into Year 0, Mech Xavier wrote, M. Canning makes it out of his group, and BaseTradeTV gives me a bonus late night StarCraft. What did I do to deserve such a great night? You probably did a lot of really, really bad things. And then this is karma offsetting it with good things. Because that's totally how the universe works. He said sarcastically. But okay, let's hop into this next game. Remember, best of 1s start next. This is the last best of 3. Spawning here in the top right side of the map. He's down 1 game at the moment. We have the purple Protoss Raze. The top left, we have the red Zerg player up 1-0. It's Warren, the brute force monster. I think they're supposed to do total months subbed next month. Yeah, that's what I've heard, Afroman, but they also said that last month too, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out. Hey, Talden. Well, if you'd been here earlier, maybe we could have made that happen, but we're kind of halfway down the hill at this point. Like I said, tonight's going to be kind of a bit of a shorter than average night. It's not like a full-on show. This has nothing to do with the viewership or the time zone. This is like literally a test thing that we're putting on just to help a friend grab a couple of extra numbers for her stream. Remember, that's Kara Corvus down here below. I think she's actually streaming now. I have no clue what she's doing tonight. But again, guys, she's helping me get some money so we can do more StarCraft stuff. What the actual fuck? What? Hold on, back up, hold the phone. What the? What? Konaton. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Makes me feel super extra bad. $273.37. That looks like a man who might be Canadian to me, but oh my God. The biggest donation I have seen. Even through all of December, I saw nothing this fucking big. What the fuck? Okay, sorry, he's got a message. Let me read the message. Hang on. Rifkin. I started watching BaseTradeTV back around 2013, and you've given me some of the most enjoyment of any StarCraft 2 channels on the web. I wish I had subscribed back when I first started watching, but to make up for it, here's 6 years worth of monthly subs. Dude! What? You have my gratitudes, first off, for just watching for 6 years. Fuck, dude. Pardon me, I'm swearing all over the place now. For 6 years, you've been watching my channel, and I gotta tell you, dude, for that reason alone, I am super grateful. The fact that you just, like, said, you know what, here's my back pay for it, makes you a legend. Thank you so much for that, Konaton. Oh, fuck, I'm probably seeing it. I'm, like, all flustered now. All right, thank you very much for the big dollars, my dude. I tell you what, that money, I know I should probably just pocket. I should probably square away. I should probably be like, yo, I'm gonna put this to burgers or something. Let me ask you this while you're here with us in Twitch chat tonight, my dude. If you could see one show match, I'm not saying this will for sure happen, right? But if I could put this money towards good use, I'd love to put it towards some cool StarCraft content. So let me ask you this. Who are your 2 favorite players in StarCraft 2 that you would love to see fight against one another? Again, I won't guarantee that I can make this happen. But if I could put some of this money towards making that happen, that would make me happy. So let me know in Twitch chat. And again, don't get your hopes up. With WCS going on and GSL starting up, I want to be very clear. A lot of players are on purpose declining invites to play in things right now because they have other priorities. But if I can make this happen, I would love to try and make this happen. So thank you so much, my dude. Now, of course, while this goes on, we've seen this opening at a raise. I love that Adept Micro just now squeezes that into safety. He's going to have to put a gateway down, though, because these Adepts are not going to live for much longer. They will take out a majority of the Zerglings, though, so this is not imperative crazy scary damage, but it did force him to fully wall off, and without those Adepts alive, he can't poke around the map. Full Metal Octopus says, I want to get hooked up with a Partouf. Okay, guys, I really don't want to go too deep into this. We have a video about this on YouTube, but the TLDR is what, because a lot of people have lost their 12-month subs in the meantime, and other people this, and the rising costs of bullshit, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to be changing the system around. I have plans for this, but I can't implement it until Twitch comes out with their total months subbed instead of months subbed in a row. So, if you do want one of those Partoufs, you don't even have to keep subscribing. If you've just been hanging on all this time for a fucking Partouf, you have my blessing. Because at some point, Twitch is going to have a feature out that shows me that you've been subbed for a year, and it doesn't have to have been consecutively. And that's all that's going to matter to me, that you've been around for a year. So, I'm not saying unsub, please continue subbing. But my point is, they are coming back. We just are waiting on Twitch at the moment. Anyways, this Phoenix is doing some pretty good scouting. I'm also trying to keep an eye on Twitch chat to see what the request of Konaton is, but yeah, we'll see what he says. Rifkin versus Zombie about a Full Metal Octopus. That's already happened. That happened in Twitch Rivals. Spoiler alert, I lost. But the thing that makes me so sad about this, if you guys watch those games, you know, I almost, like, Zombie Grub even admits it. I came very close to breaking Zombie Grub in game 1. Like, very scary close. Then I lost game 2 very embarrassingly. But I had a great time playing. I love playing StarCraft, even though I know I'm not the best player out there and all this good stuff. So when stuff like that happens, I'm always down to play. But, uh-oh, there's a lot of links coming in. The shield battery should keep this Zealot alive for a long time. These probes, however, are a bit more of an open target, yet Warren is not capitalizing on this. Runs down to the south now. Back in with the same links. So you grab this pylon to the south side. But with that Oracle activated, there's no fighting those Adepts. Also, double Phoenix. No, triple Phoenix. When did Race put down a 3rd Stargate? Better question. Why did Race put down a 3rd Stargate? He's only using 2 of them right now. He's also gone for a weapon upgrade, so it looks like he is going to be dedicating significantly to the air battle this game. Pros and cons to this. You're going to have more Phoenix than usual, thus more ability to lift units up, and more units, in turn, will die because of this. A lot of the times, you know, Hydras are just made so plentifully that it doesn't matter how many you kill because there's still more on the ground. However, with so many Phoenix out, he should be able to lift up every single Hydralisk, and a Hydralisk is going to die to a Phoenix in the sky every single time. So it'll be a very interesting race of DPS. I didn't get to watch it. I'll check it out. Yeah. So they didn't show our games on the Twitch Rivals mainstream, which is fine with me. But the VODs are available here both on BaseTradeTV as well as Zombie Grub's channel. Because we were part of the rules, we had to stream our points of view of the game. Which I would have done anyways. I don't really mind. But hey, another sweet thing for your boy Rifkin. I tied first place for the ladder race for North America. So that was pretty freaking cool. Dinwit just gifted a sub to Conaton, who's, again, he's probably like, dude, you keep saying my name wrong. I'm going to figure out how to charge this shit back. I'm so sorry, dude. Thank you very much for gifting the sub, though, Dinwit. Oh, these Phoenix fly in the worst place possible. Loses 1, almost 2 for nothing. But he does see the army moving out with queens, so he knows that this is a much bigger attack than otherwise would be normally. $14 Phoenix in total, 17 Hydras, 7 queens. You could deal with the Hydras if there's no queen support. That's where these Zealots come into play, but the Zealots don't have charge yet. Without charge, these Zealots are just going to be kind of fodder on the ground, but suddenly with charge, they become deadly blades of ire. Conaton says, I don't know who to ask for, but I like Terran versus Zerg or Protoss. Any suggestions? So here's how I would do this in my books, right? I think of the player I want to see play the most. So for example, if I'm having a week where we just haven't cast a lot of Terrans, then I want to get a Terran in there for versus anything. I would think, who's my favorite Terran player to watch? You got players like Gumio who are really solid. You got guys like TY who play a little crazy. Speaking of crazy, big fight for Raze here. Hold the phones. I'll continue this conversation afterwards. Those Zealots waited just long enough to soak the damage, and these Phoenix clean house. Warren, I'm sorry, but you're dead. GG. Okay, well, Raze starts bringing it back. Warren is not out of this. Or Raze is not out of this, because remember, now it's tied up 1-1. We're going to head on to map 3, which will be King's Cove. Let me host that up really quick. But anyways, my train of thought for when I'm hosting tournaments and who I want to invite, I think about the player I want to see most, and then I try to think about who I think is close to them in skill. Because while it's really cool to think about hype matches like Maru versus Serral, the first thing I think about is they're both going to play off server. That's not going to be very fun for the players to play, and if they're not having fun, we're probably not going to have fun watching them, right? Cause and effect. So I actually don't think of Maru versus Serral as like a hype matchup. But then I think of people like Sue, who are very fucking fun to watch, win or lose, and would have a really good fight. Or in the foreign scene, you think of like Showtime, amazing Protoss player. Who would you want to see play against him? Well, Euthermal's been doing a lot of crazy shit, and he's a pretty solid Terran, so that would be my TVP match for like the best. And so forth, and so forth. So don't let me tell you who to pick, dear Konotan, but think about it in that way. Like, who do you really want to see? And then think about who you think would put up a really good match. Because nobody, yourself included, don't lie to yourself, nobody wants to see a 4-0 stomp, right? No one wants to see a 3-0 stomp. But King's Cove is coming up. Players are ready. Let's hop into this nice island escape of a map. Starkiller versus Future. Starkiller has had a very interesting history. Some all-ins and otherwise. There's also another guy, Starbuck. Do you guys remember Starbuck? Starbuck got like, oh fuck, I hope that's his name and I'm not misremembering it. But he got so much attention. He was the Zerg player that stacked drones and walked drones across the map in a WCS match and won the game because nobody realized that it wasn't a scouting drone, but instead a big all-in of drones. There's some good players out there that are very fun. I would say, though, now that I've given you time to think about who you want to see, I would love to watch probably Raynor versus just about anybody. And if you're thinking of a TVZ specifically, I would even try pitting him up against a Korean Terran. But that is off-server stuff, which could be no fun. So my alternate thing would be Raynor versus, like, a Euthermal of sorts. But hang on. Wait a minute. Conaton says I missed everything Riff said because an ad came up. But that shouldn't be the case because you were gifted a sub and you're supposed to have ad-free viewing as a sub. You should not be getting ads right now, sir. So first and foremost, I would say refresh the page. Make sure that clears that up because you shouldn't be getting ads as a subscriber. Twitch. Secondly, My TLDR, to re-summarize for you, without going too boring into retelling of this story, pick a player you really want to see. A player you know is near and dear to your heart. You want a Terran versus somebody, so think about who's your favorite Terran player in what scene. You think in Korea? Maybe you really like Gumio. Maybe you really like TY. I don't know. Then think about who you want to see them play against that you think is on a similar level, right? So, again, people want to say stuff like Maru versus Serral. I don't think would actually make for a great match. There's too much hype to it, and no matter who wins, it'll be a letdown. So for me, if I'm thinking of a match, I'm thinking of like Gumio versus SOS, or Gumio versus Stats, or something really fun like that, you know? Or even versus one of the foreigners, say in Korea. Alternatively, there's the other side of it. Just pick a foreigner versus a foreigner. Start with the point of a player you really want to see and go from there. I'll give you time to think about it. You don't have to answer it right now. But guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3. Things are tied up 1-1. Spawning here at the top left side, we got the blue Zerg player, Warren. And at the bottom right, we have the purple Protoss Psystorm Gaming's Raze. I should mention they are both on Psystorm Gaming. Mr. Boris Macroff says, hey, reminder, y'all should check out Car Corvus, who support the prize pool for today. Yes, again, Car did give me money to make this happen, with the expectation that when she watches and runs her bounty later after we host her, she should, in turn, make that money back, and even then a little bit more, thanks to the bounties. This is a win-win for everybody, so I really, really would appreciate if you guys stuck around. I know you would stick around if I did it, so I'm hoping you'll do it for her as well, because the money is going the same direction. It was the LOL advertisement followed by the Purge ad. I don't know about the Purge ad, but to be honest, if it was that anime LOL advertisement, I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of a hype advertisement. League of Legends is not everyone's favorite game here. I fully understand that. I do like it, just to put it on the record. But what's their animation, their videos they put out there, like, so freaking good. You don't even have to be a weeb to appreciate it, because it was just like actually really smoothly and well animated. I really liked it a lot. But now we're getting into like film critique douchebaggery, so I'm gonna pause that. King's Cove's a pretty big map. It's got a lot of bases on the map too. But man, this is also a game where these bases are a little bit harder to secure. When we first started seeing this map, there's a couple instances where I said this would just be a macro map most of the time. We'd see longer games on this map, they would go further distances, etc. But realistically, we're seeing this map kind of get stopped around like 3 to 4 bases. A lot of the time, this doesn't actually go super macro. And I'm not sure if that's just like the pacing the game provides. Because again, look at the minimap, right? It's really deceptive. You think people would have 5 or 7 bases, no problem. Oh, I like Mick Xavier's. Can I +1 this? He says, I say you Thermo versus Rainer would be amazing. I don't know if it would be like crazy amazing, but I think it'd be a lot of fun for sure. I would +1 that idea. What is the bounty? She's going to be watching a Dollar Shave Club ad, I think, on her stream. It's just like a 3-minute video that they play. And if you stick around for it, thumbs up. Yui says, I'm a Dota player. Hey, man, we all like and choose our favorite games. No shame in what you like. I heard auto chess is pretty fun. I haven't checked it out myself yet, though. Anyways, I've been a little bit off topic, but focusing on what's happening, Raze has come with a pretty dedicated attack. There's another mortal coming out, but that's gonna have to crab walk across the map. It's not gonna get here really in time. So it's down to this. Zealots with a little bit of Warp Prism micro, saves him from the back line, flies back from the Queens, takes out those that hatchery, and hell, Raze could, if he gets in a tight pinch, just probably recall out of this, but I think he could just walk home, realistically. It's a lot of clips being linked in the Twitch chat, and I want to click them because it's Therminator linking them, but then I know I'll regret doing it on stream immediately. I want to see a Terran player. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Your favorite Terran player is the starting point, and then finding a good opponent from him is what comes next. Symph, you know exactly what I'm talking about, dude. Spire coming down for Warren on the other side. This, even just like 1 or 2 Mutalisks, he doesn't even have to dedicate to them, but enough to chase down this Warp Prism and get this monkey off of his back would be great. This has once again cost him the 3rd base. This time it's a cancel at least and not a kill, but still, wait, when did the Roach Warden die? That's a yikes. Okay, well, lots of damage been dealt to Warren, and with a Roach Warren having gone down and being remade, this means that it's a big gap in him spending his money. It looks a little bit silly, but not spending his money for that long was kind of cause and effect. This has led to mutas now coming out, actually. 6 of them being started up. Content said he wanted innovation, possibly versus Raynor. Again, like, we'll have to see what is available. I would like to make very clear to everybody, though, because I can't stress this enough. A lot of players who would normally play in events are declining invites to play in things right now because they want to focus on WCS. They don't want to show strategies. GSL has just finished their qualifiers. That's starting shortly. So, like I said, if we can make this happen, that would be awesome. There's a decent chance we don't, and I just want to make sure everyone's expectations are in line. Conaton says, finally, all right, the game I want to see is Innovation versus Raynor or Raynor versus Euthermal. Ooh, I'm going to actually just write this down really quick. Well, actually, let's finish up this attack because the third base is dying again. I think Raze might just be achieving victory here as he's really beating Warren into a corner. Warren's got decent numbers when you look at the actual paper, the supplies that are available, but he's not able to keep up with his opponent. He's actually got these mutas across the map, though, and if he kills enough probes, this could equalize things, but he's got to still hold on to survive in this game. His Roach Warren's going to die before Roach Speed finishes. Big deny over there. While this goes on, nothing's been prompted to recall, so these mutas have just gone unchecked in the main base, killing 14 probes, but those probes don't matter for a lick of Jack squat if he can't stop this attack. And so far, I don't know if he can stop this attack, guys. This could be game over. Well, he's doing some really good Warp Prism micro. Units unleashed from the main base. There's a Baneling here. I'm unsure why, but it just got a pretty good splash attack off. Much better than Magikarp. Mutas come back home. If they snipe this Warp Prism, this will lock down the attack. Now these Immortals are stuck in place. Warren is up 14 workers from this attack. Yeah, Mutas take out the last Stalker. Okay, Warren survives. Where does that leave him in the game, though, right? Roach Warren was killed, so he can't make easy mode Roaches. Furthermore, he lost Roach speed, so if he did make Roaches, it wouldn't be worth it. He's changed his investment to go for Hydralisks instead. He's on 2 bases. The economy is shot for both players. Funny enough, it looks better for Warren because this is a comparative graph, but objectively, 40 and 30 workers apiece, not good for either player. But now that I have a moment before I forget this, because basically the second I turn stream off, I have forgotten everything I've said or read on stream. I'm like a goldfish. Fountain wants innovation versus Raynor, or possibly Euthermal versus. All right, Connaughton. If I'm able to make this happen, and I believe me, I will try. If I'm able to make this happen, I'll make sure we give you some proper credits too. That was an awfully sweet donation to you, man. I'm glad we could figure that one out. Anyways, we got a couple good candidates. And to be honest with you, I like both of those. But stressing once more. Last time. Might not happen. Please don't look at it as skamaz if it doesn't happen. I would like to make it happen, though. Blink starts up here. This is great, but I think Raze has misread the situation a little. Blink can do a lot. If you guys actually watched Zest play recently when I was casting with the Muslim and Snoot for the Ting Open Korea group, oh boy, did Zest do some cool stuff with Blink. However, I believe Raze has gotten Blink mostly because he's afraid of more Mutalisks, and that's why he's continuing to warp in Stalkers. However, it's not Mutalisks that'll be the... What the fuck? Hello? Hold up. Back up. What? Replay. Not replaying. What the fuck? Gibby 311 just donated $200. I'll read the message in a moment, dude, but holy fuck, thank you so much. The reason I'm going to wait a moment to read that message is this could be the last attack out of a desperate player going for a desperate last chance to win this best of 3. There's a lot of sentries here, which means a lot of force fields, giving more power to these Blink Stalkers. A Guardian Shield should come down, maybe? It'll reduce a lot of that damage, but... Oh, has he seen that there's Lurkers morphing in behind this? Blink can dodge a lot of Lurker attacks, but ultimately, Raze has no way to see those units. There's no Oracle. There doesn't appear to be an observer anywhere on the map. I don't think he can fight. Jeez. All right. Well, looks like he's backing up to catch these mutas. This will work out really nicely for him. Warren not paying attention. Blink goes in. That's one dead muta. Two? No, just one. How do you only get one out of that? Really? Oh, this is so frustrating for our poor Protoss. But big shots get fired. Anyways, 200 bucks come in from Gibby311. I gotta say thank you again. He says here, some more Takonatons possible innovation versus Raynor or Raynor versus Euthermal match. Also, Terminator 101s are, I think he meant to say ideas, but he said Terminator 101s are great, just not for Rift's self-esteem, lol. That's fucking cool. That's something again, guys, I don't want this to turn into some angry Reddit thread, because this has literally happened before. A guy years back donated $25 and the message said, put this towards a Puck versus Special show match, by the time Major, or if it doesn't happen, just put it towards whatever. Puck and Major do not like each other at the time. They both declined to fight one another, so I put the prize money, the donation, towards another show match prize pool, right? This guy, for 3 years, you can look this up on Reddit, for 3 years he's been posting, claiming I scammed him out of $25, that I literally stole his money because I didn't make that show match happen. So I want to make clear to everybody who's watching this, while I am incredibly grateful, and I will reach out to these players and see what we can make happen. If it doesn't happen, I don't want to see any of that bullshit. I'm not living through this for another 3 years. I love your faces and I love your support. And I think nobody here would necessarily do that. But I got to put it out there because unfortunately I've been burned before. So again, I will try to make this happen. I will tweet at these guys the second we're done streaming tonight, okay? You know, but if it doesn't happen, please don't get mad. Don't go hold this against me for years, because I never sold you on product. I just said, let's try and make this cool thing happen. All right, we happy? We good? There's the disclaimer. Big shots from this disruptor saying got a huge chunk of Warren's army. Warren's also got these mutas over here policing anything that could leave the top side of the base. General Scott Caesar, good to see you in chat, lad. Hey, Base Trade, it's me again, Sissy Caesar. And then he dabs on me a bunch. I take it back. It's not nice to see you again. How dare you dab on me with Sky's beautiful emotes. All right. Disruptors have so much power here. I love that he's continuing to produce them. I think for Raze, realistically, he should win any fight he gets himself into. But possibility of micro. More possibility of throwing the game. All are factors in what's happening right now. And I think for Raze, one of his harder problems is he doesn't have a lot of really reliable detection. Casting Revelation on lurkers makes this a lot easier to deal with, but disruptors don't need detection to shoot. So as long as you have a general idea where the lurkers are firing from, you can send disruptor shots in and possibly get the shot you need. But I say possibly because it's not guaranteed, and it's not certainly happening just yet. He does start clearing his way up the ramp. Blink Stalkers could fight the rest of these Hydras and Roaches as long as he gets in there. But he's got to get in there. And there we go. Blinks aggressively forward. Pretty nice corrosive bios actually take out one of the disruptors on the backside. A couple probes start going down with this too. Warren is up so many workers from this attack, but he loses out on so much army. It's really hard to judge where this game is at right now. I think on paper, this looks better for Warren. But realistically, Raze actually, look at his resources lost. Raze just took a much better, much more cost-effective fight. What does Gibby say here? I'm good with the $200, go to another show match. Well, so here's my alternate thoughts on this, guys, because I love your faces. I think that, well, these guys might not be willing to agree to, like, let's say hypothetically, right? I'm like, hey, I got $200 up for a show match. You guys want to play best of 5, best of 7? And they're like, well, I got like a couple $1,000 ready on the line for GSL. I'll probably decline. What I might be able to do if they decline, and I will try and make this happen first. I want to make it special, right? But if they do decline, what I might be able to do is put that money towards a bigger tournament and say, hey, now we have a $3,000 prize pool. How about I put you two together in the same group to play, or the round of 8, or something like this? And that bigger prize pool is a lot more attractive and makes them willing to perhaps risk showing a build that they were saving for another event. Again, these are all theoreticals, these are all hypotheticals, but one way or another, I want to make clear, those donations I just got, they're not going to my pocket. I'm going to try and make some cool stuff happen with them. Because I love doing StarCraft too. But I'm talking so much more about that, and I'm sorry some of you probably find this so terribly, terrifically annoying. I just have to really get my disclaimers out there. But love your faces. Thank you both so much for being such badasses tonight. And a couple of lurkers burning up here on the high ground could possibly get some good attacks off. One thing I'd love to see Warren do, I think he tried to do this, some hold fire micro to try and catch those stalkers super out of position. Just make no mistake, guys. If lurkers get to attack stalkers, lurkers deal 36 damage a shot in a line. Splash damage to stalkers. In fact, the only thing in this army that's not taking bonus damage from lurkers are disruptors. But the beauty is they stay so far back, they shouldn't really ever be affected. Some sneak attack tactics. We have a DT on the other side of the map. I thought he had 2. Just the 1. Maybe that one got cleaned up. Either way, 1 DT causing some chaos, getting some damage, and a lack of detection is making this painful for him to clean up. He does have a lair. In fact, he has a hive. Not sure why this was so much trouble for him. But it was and it is, and this DT is looking to get a couple more kills. This one's in view of the Spore Crawler, though, which makes it super awkward. The scraggly couple of mutas that were left from earlier do survive to go to this base, get some attacks off. Ricky D172, thank you for the 24 months. He says, happy 2-year anniversary, baby. Can't believe how quick the times have gone. Mwah, right back at you. Sly wink, etc. Ice Wolf, he says, base trade, how much do we need for players to snap their necks? What kind of a weird question is that, my dude? All right, this has been more worker kills than I expected. Also, another best of 3 that drags out longer than expected. Not complaining, just observing. 45 probes, 18 probes, drones. This has been a game that is far from perfectly played by other players. Neither of these are truly the hypest players you've ever seen, but this is definitely a cool match because this has been very back and forth in its own scrappy, terrible way. Now it's come down a lot to economy. Raze has had no money for quite some time comparatively to Warren. We know this from the income graph, and we know this from his lack of mining. But his army to this point had been better. However, now we're getting towards Broodlords. And Raze, even with all the might of these Blink Stalkers, doesn't have a great answer for Broodlords. Because all Warren has to do is sit above his lurkers with those Broodlords, and nothing's coming close to his army. If the Stalkers blink in, they're shredded by the lurkers. If the Disruptors try and shoot, the Broodlords free fire back on them. Terminator's clips are great, just not for Rifkin's self-esteem. Terminator is my favorite troll. I love and hate this guy. He's been around for years. I'm used to it. Has nothing to do with my self-esteem, everything to do with my will to live. This back attack, though, out of Warren was possibly the game-ending damage he was looking for. The army got recalled, but only part of it. The worst part is, it responds not in time to deal the damage it needs to save the base. And that was Raze's only mining base. The other bases are mined out of their minerals. On top of this, he lost more probes, something he couldn't afford to lose. So now Raze has no money, and realistically, this is all he's going to have for the rest of the game. The longer he waits, the more his opponent mines, and the quicker this game will come to a conclusion. So Raze's only option right now is to move across the map and go for a Hail Mary YOLO kill move, which he might not be able to pull off, but it's his only option. Ice Wolfie says, it was an expression to mean getting their attention. Would 5K do it? You know what? I'll wait till the game's over, because that's actually a very interesting question, and I would love to answer that in full detail. Oh, thanks for stopping by, General Caesar. Riff, you should take some for yourself, too. You do a lot of work for BaseTradeTV. Consider this my okay. They like you. Thank you, dude. Don't worry about content. We'll make something happen that makes me happy, makes you happy, makes everyone happy, hopefully, and ideally. Same with Gibby, but like I said, hold the phone. We'll talk about this more once we're out of game. Because I do want to go into this in a little bit more detail. In the meanwhile, this has been kind of back and forth, and it has been kind of crazy. But I would like to remind you guys the stakes at hand here, because whoever loses is knocked out of the King of the Hill. And well, the winner gets 25 bucks. They also will have a chance to go up next in a best of 1 for $50. Remember, that prize money's increasing tonight. I think we got Silky on board, but there's the GG call. Warren actually takes the series 2-1 and knocks Raze off the hill. All right, now I got to figure out who is fighting Warren. Well, that's a pretty darn good chunk of change. A longer series than expected, but yeah. Mr. D. Ray, that is such a weird message. I'm not even going to read it. I don't. All right. Let me see if who's ready for a silkier future. Now remember, this is a best of 1. So these are a lot higher stake games that are starting up next. And this is where I would put a commercial break in, but I want to do a couple of shout outs really quick and then explain Ice Wolfie's question, because I think it's actually a pretty good one. But Green8 says, for $3, what is Kara hooking up for the prize pool? Any reasons to hold StarCraft 2 tournaments is Poggers Woot. I'm not quite sure I understand your question, but to elaborate a little bit, Kara has given me some money. I'm not going to go into the details, guys, because that's private, but Kara's given me money to make tonight happen. She gave us prize money for tonight, which I have put towards this. It's partially me, partially her, but the point is we got some cool StarCraft 2 content for it. And for her, I'm sure it'll be worthwhile as long as you guys stick around and check out her stream after this one is done. Again, that'll be in about an hour and 15-ish minutes from now. Then we got $5. Thank you very much for the $3, by the way. And then $5. Thank you, Mr. Boris Makarov. He says, this is for Subway. Love you, Riff. Wish I could donate more. Oh, Subway is so good. Thank you so much, man. Anyways, Silky or Future have not responded, so I'm not sure which player is up next. Remember, we're just going to give it to whoever replies first. But to explain a little bit further on the question, Ice Wolfie asked specifically... Okay, I was going to read it verbatim, but it's too far up in the chat. But he asked something along the lines of, like, basically, what would it cost to get these guys to play in a tournament right now? Because they do have all these other major events going on. And the price of that kind of varies. So, for example, I guarantee you $10,000, everybody signs up to play in that. That's too much money, though. And no one's going to sponsor that kind of cash right now. For things like the Ting Open, there was a $5,000 tournament that happened through the course of November to December and finished up in January. And with a $5,000, it ended up being total $6,000, excuse me, not $5,000, $6,000 at the end. We had such a problem with signups. We had such a problem with invites. Half the players declined their invites because they just didn't care. There was Christmas. They wanted to do their family stuff. So realistically, it's safe to assume that if $5,000 struggle to get people when there's nothing going on, you would think it makes it more difficult when there's everything going on, like WCS. But the weird thing is, it's actually the opposite, at least what we've seen trending in the path of hosting bigger tournaments. Because what happens is, if you wait until about half the groups are done, you suddenly have 16 to 32 people across North America, Europe, and knocked out of GSL who have no tournaments coming up for the next 3 months because they've been knocked out of the only big tournament that's going on. Remember, for Korea, it's GSL. For North America, Europe, it's WCS. And until this season finishes up, there's nothing else for them to do. So suddenly a $5,000 tournament is the most enticing thing in the world. So it's not so much about how much, it's more about when. And in this case, if you were to wait 2 weeks, I would say $5,000 easily gets you almost any player you would like, with the exception of a couple of high-profile players who are most likely, you know, a shoe-in to get the top of WCS or GSL, so Serals and Innovations of the world. However, even then, in some cases, those guys just love competition, and in some cases we've seen, like Neeb and others, they'll just play in everything as long as you invite them, and they don't have to go through the headache of qualifiers. So it's interesting. At any rate, I still don't know where Silky or Future are, and if they're not back soon, we may have to go try finding some other people. I don't know. Neither are replying. Discord. So guys, I'm sorry to do a commercial break. I'm going to go try and find these players and see what's going on. Foonly, thank you very much for the 52 months, dude. Back in 2014, I enjoyed base trade. Still do. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you very much. But we'll be back here in a couple minutes, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, here, have a cringy war chest ad. Nope, that's the wrong one. Fuck. The stream's not starting soon. Feeling uneasy about StarCraft's future? The future. Are you unsure if you can afford a war chest? War chest. What about WCS? WCS. Well, don't fucking worry. Quit it. Check out the war chest. Quit wasting your day grinding the ladder and losing those precious ladder points. For a limited time, you can level up your war chest, unlock skins just by simply watching BaseTradeTV. Monday through Sunday. Sunday. Lots of skins. Hell yeah, there are. Buildings too. We also get part of the sale. Cash money. Just use our unique link or click below the stream. Contributions from the war chest will go towards funding BTSL Season 3. While the war chest and the affiliation we have with it are thanks to Blizzard, please understand that the thoughts, opinions, shitposts, and memes we represent do not represent Blizzard Entertainment. There are
are no side effects. This isn't a drug, but if it was, and if there were, they would include making him slightly taller, muscle definition, sexual appeal, larger general sense of well-being, and the inability to be tilted on the ladder thanks to all the cool skins you have now to show off. Speaking of building skins, here's a joke for the road. The war chest is like an emotional wedding. Everything comes in tears.
All right, guys. So kind of cool. Real quick here. I've opted to let these guys pick any map they want in the map pool because it's a best of one, and let's be honest, we're just having some fun with stuff at this point. What's crazy though is the map selected was one called Ascension to Ire. Now this is an old map. This is my future, by the way. It's Future versus Warren coming up. This is an old map. Some of you might not even remember this map, but I remember that we have a map intro for this from a very long time ago. And I asked these guys to give me a second so I could try and find it. And I did. And the best part is, this is from the era where Rifkin was using copyright-free music, or music that I had licensed in this case for this video. So give me a sec here, because it's going to be super duper loud. If I do this any other way, it's still going to be super duper loud. Sorry in advance, guys. The fucking Wub intro, boys. Oh my god, it's been a long time. All right. I've got this locked and loaded. Players, are you ready? Ah, this is such a nostalgia kick for me. Let's get into it. It's Ascension to Ire. It's a best of one. It's Future versus Warren. I'll see you guys on the map. Oh boy, I got shot. It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. Ascension to Ire from a few seasons back. Best of one, $50 on the line. Spawning here to the top left side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Future. This is my lunch money. Give me your lunch money. To the bottom right, it's the red Zerg. It's the current king of this hill. We have Warren. So real quick, for you guys who have not kept up to date, this is the King of the Hill. We've had a lot of back and forths. Warren has $25 in his pocket for playing best of threes, but now we're in the big boy leagues. This is a best of one with $50 on the line. So whoever wins this is quite a chunk of change for playing a best of one here in the King of the Hill. I don't know who to root for. I think Warren actually just displayed a really awesome series versus Raze, but I'm a big fan of Future. If you guys have been listening to me on my cast, you know I'm a little biased towards this guy. He's impressed me a lot over the last few months, so I'm kind of cheering a little bit for Infinity Gaming's Future, but maybe Sidestorm Gaming's Warren can surprise us. At any rate, we have Ice Wolfie asking in chat, saying, so you need, what, another 2K? You already have 2 to 3K, right? So if you're talking about BTSL Season 5, yes. If you're talking about anything else, then no. Because these guys have just been thrown out for like a show match or something. But Ice Wolfie, if you do want to put something towards something, hit me up on Discord or something. Or hit me up in the DMs on Twitter. We can discuss that further. But at any rate, guys, this was a bit of a test thing. Like I said, I've never really done an advertisement for another person's stream before. We've done things like hosting and we've done things like rating. But we've had some really good show matches tonight. And again, really want to emphasize, thanks to my good friend Corvus, who's going to be very clearly not just giving money away to StarCraft because it's the good of her heart, even though she's a good person, has a good heart. This is something where she is going to make some money off of this. The amount of viewers she has on her stream when she plays her ad will directly influence how much money she gets paid for said ad. So the idea is that as long as we can bring about 500-ish people, which by the way we have at the moment, so that's perfect numbers, but if we can bring about 500-ish eyeballs to her stream, then she will make enough money to have made this endeavor worthwhile for everybody. So hey, we get some extra StarCraft content that I didn't plan to do. She gets a little bit of extra cash for her advertisement, and you guys get to discover what is possibly another streamer you could like. Or maybe you don't like. Either way, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, as long as you guys stick around for at least those couple of minutes once we host/raid her, then that's all I could ask for. In the meantime, I should actually check in with her, because I don't know how her stream is going. She started it up. Because like I said, hard stop is 8 o'clock. We got about 2 matches left. I think we're on course for this. Yeah, so let's go let her know that too. Okay, sorry about that. Now Future ends up grabbing a couple of these links Warren had sent across to try and, you know, stall this out or be annoying. Unfortunately, he was able to achieve neither of those goals, and even with the links coming back in now, the Hellions are out, so they should be able to roast these down. There's been a couple of weird openings, but Terran in particular has been threatening players with battlecruisers, and even with the recent nerfs to said battlecruisers, we watched Future try and do this in a tournament match. This time he's not doing battlecruisers, but it's very important that this Overlord is here to go back in for just a smidge and confirm that this is researching Cloak and not just an idle tech lab. Because if it's an idle tech lab, then possibly or likely there's a fusion core hidden in the back of the base you haven't seen. But seeing specifically the fact that there's a tech lab churning out Cloak means that there's going to be Banshees, and you handle this very different from a Zerg perspective. And there we go. Scout's in. Now he knows what's going on too. This is good for Warren. Information is key in StarCraft 2. We all know this. It doesn't even need to be said. I don't know why he said it. But in this instance, it allows him the timing to throw down 3 Spore Crawlers. And these 3 Spore Crawlers will, more importantly than anything else, allow detection for the Banshee so that this doesn't get too out of hand. People are asking about the score. This is a best of 1. There is no score. The winner moves on and the loser falls out of the hill. BaseTradeTV, please tell me you have the Catalina map intro. I have it somewhere. It's easily found. But that map intro was from a time period where we were not licensing music. And I'm not sure I want to play it on stream, to be honest. Oh, this command center. Why? Future, why was this built like this? Even Warren's kind of like, what are you doing? I really like Future, but man, what the fuck was that? Okay, well, the command center is killed, not canceled. That's a little bit rough. We also had a tech swap, by the way. Warren did scout that it was going to be Stim. He saw this turning on the tech lab, but that was actually canceled and factories were placed down instead. And now Future, I'm not sure if this is cause and effect of the command center going down, but either way, he's moved towards mech as his option now. Hellions chase in, looking for some drone kills. You know what? On the other side of the map, all the Lings are over there, so they're not defending at home. These Hellions decide to go in deeper, but oh, that block! These Hellions are dead! This is so sick out of Warren! He locks in the Hellions. He'll cancel these buildings, but the idea is it holds them in place. The Queens body block the rest. They can't escape. And while this was on course to possibly get like another 12 drone kills, Warren has the sickest defense. And the thing is, too, we've watched Solar. We've watched high-profile Zerg players try and pull off those moves, and they're always like a second too late, or they barely mess it up. But in this instance, Warren nailed it and showed you just how powerful you can shut down Hellions if you do it correctly. I would watch any stream if people don't force ads on their viewers, says Lara Fire, or Ira Fire in the Twitch chat. Yeah, there's a big debate about that. I really don't like pre-roll ads. I really think pre-roll ads are stupid. I think the worst thing you can do is have a viewer tune into your stream, and then they're forced to sit through like a 30-second ad. Because not only does that effectively make us as broadcasters no money, it's just a good way to deter somebody. Like, oh, hey, I just tweeted about this hype thing, tune in right now, and then like you tune in and you've missed it. Like, fuck, right? That's the type of stuff that makes you want to ad block. I'm not about that life. I understand that that's what we're doing today effectively by us sending you to Kara's channel just to play an ad, but I'm very much with you. I think that ads could be done so much better. I think advertising in general could be done better in a way that is as effective and less, I guess, deterrent. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Oh, sorry. Some miscommunication on my part earlier. I see being discussed by Bardino in the chat. The command center here was canceled. I said killed. That was a mistake. I was misspeaking. I very distinctly remembering saying killed when I should have said canceled. The command center was not killed. He did not lose 400 minerals. He had 300 returned to him. You only lose the 100 if you cancel it. So clarification on my end and apologies. But this is a very weird follow-up I got to highlight out of Future, because while there's a lot of Hellions, and that is not so surprising, and their blue flame is not timing out for the attack, it's the two Thors in the medevacs. And Future's been a guy to experiment. And I guarantee you this is going to be more powerful than Warren expects. I don't think Warren can actually deal with this right now. In fact, I don't even know if Warren can deal with the Hellbats. I think these Thors might be GG. Now he's building a lot of Hydras, but this is what I'm talking about the Hellbats. They're going to have blue flame. And even if they don't have blue flame, they're still just tanky enough that the Thors can shoot these Hydras from far away. As long as the Thors aren't the ones eating the shots and the Hellbats are, then it's all Gucci. Thors also have like 11 range in anti-air mode, so sniping off things is not that difficult. Then he moves those Hellbats over. Blue flame done. Now he's got that big damage versus light units. Still pumping out Hydras, but still no prospects of killing these Thors anytime near Future. In fact, he's actually knocking down the Queens on purpose over the Hydras. I kind of like that move. Because he knows the Hellbats can deal with the Hydras. The Thors will deal with the Queens. Now, knocking down this base is not the end of the world. He's got several to fall back to, but it just doesn't seem like he's got a good pushback. He drops the Hellbats on top of the Hydras. Nice boost in with the medevacs. Keeps them both alive, too, barely, but key thing is he keeps them alive. As long as those blue flame Hellbats are here to wash off the Zerglings, nothing will surround these Thors. And the cost of efficiency... Oh, my God, look at the resources lost. Look at the cost efficiency of this attack. This is disgusting. Lil Bro Pete, thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. Oh boy. These Thors, I want Future to drop mules, not to be BM, but to just legitimately repair the Thors on the other side of the map. 17 kills on one, 12 on another. This is gross. It's great if you're Terran, it's horrifying if you're Zerg. Oh, hey, Alaris. Good to see you in the Twitch chat. I hope you're having a good night. He put double command centers down behind this. The only way this could have been more bold is if he had done it on location. The Bailiffs will come in and start washing out some of these Hellbats, but another tool has been added to Future's army, and that's those tanks. Big shots from far away. He'll pop off those Banelings before they even reach the Hellbats in most cases, and in a worst case, just let those Thors take the shots, because now this game isn't about the Thors nearly as much as it is about the tanks and the Hellbats. And he just brought in 4 brand new tanks to the front line. Those Banelings spawn, but look at that split. Boy! all things considered, Warren put up a hell of a fight, but this isn't going to cut it. He picks up the Thor to dodge the Hydra shots. That's just styling on him at this point. It's a slow bleed out, but while he's got a lot of workers to work with, keep in mind, Warren's army supply has not been above 50 and lots of deaths, frankly. That's it. Vikings down the ground. Tank's not even firing. I mean, he's transferring the drones away to other bases, and kudos on taking extra bases, but no amount of playing cat and mouse will win this game. He's got nothing to properly fight back with. He's got Vikings not even on the ground to soak the Baneling shots. I mean, as long as the Hellbats don't die, and they didn't, he ran them northwards, he can deal with the Hydras, no problem. Tanks get a decent shot. The Blue Flame finishes him off. This is some good game. And Future takes the game. He gets a 1-0 and $50 in prizing. But let me update my brackets here really quick, guys. It's continuing on. I used the wrong color. My life is over. Future will now face off against, I believe, Silky should be the next player coming up. We're going to go back to red colors. Although, in retrospect, it would have been smarter to just color code these guys based on their rather than names. I am in. But okay, here's the bracket page to catch you guys up on this King of the Hill. We've been going real high tech lately. Okay, I don't know what the light is killing this. All right, is this gonna be better? Okay. We started the day with Penguin versus Caleb Arrakis. 2-0 for Caleb Arrakis, $25 in his pocket. Follow this up with Raze versus Caleb Arrakis, current King of the Hill, loses $25 in Raze's pocket. Raze then goes on to fight against Warren. Warren ends up winning 2-1, $25 in Warren's pocket. Warren has now lost, so we've just had a consistent trade out of unit and player after player after player, and now Future has $50 in his pocket, and he'll go up against Silky in what is possibly one of the last matches of the night. I don't have a lot of other players in queue after these guys, so while I said we had a hard stop at 8, we might even finish up a little bit sooner. I don't know. Either way, apparently the water is back onto the building, and I can't wait to do laundry. So, that being said, guys, let me go find Silky. We'll get some games going, and we'll see you guys in a couple minutes. All right, I am back, and as I said, we have Future versus Silky coming up. Silky, being the challenger, has the map pick of any map he would like, and he has chosen Year Zero. I think this is on Central. It should be on Central. Yes, I believe it is. Someone in chat saying this is the revenge match for the WCS qualifiers. Funny enough, we've actually already had this match about 2 or 3 nights ago on the new maps only tournament where Future played against Silky, and that was a very fun rematch of a rematch. He dumpstered Silky the first time they played and then lost to Silky the second time they played. So for me, with WCS and that, it's very much been back and forth between these two players. But in this case, it is a best of 1. And what is more important, like, that's it. There's just this best of 1. But they're ready, so let's hop into Year Zero. And yeah, this could be the last one. So just kind of a call out, if there's any players out there who feel confident enough to take on one of these two, we could add on possibly one more match, but I might just end up wrapping things. What is this video? Invader V has tweeted me something. I need to watch this. We'll do this together afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hop into this. For the last time, potentially, today, in the top right, he's the new challenger. We have the Red Zerg player, Silky, from Psystorm Gaming. His opponent in the... What? In the opposite side, top left, we have Future, 1 point on the King of the Hill, current king, and $50 in his pocket. But we have $19.02 coming from Konaton's wife. He says, wifely approval of this message. Well, Konaton, way to brag that you have a wife. I bet you guys are even in love and stuff too, huh? Fucking this guy. No, but hello to you and your lovely wife. Thank you guys both for watching the channel and hanging out. Apparently for a long time, no less. Tonight's broadcast might not have been the longest, craziest one of all time, but this is just the start. If you guys don't know, let me actually read you this out. Now, I want to be clear, we're still working on times for this because it's a rough month, but actually, funny enough, you guys who are watching this time zone will get a little bit more BaseTradeTV content than normal because WCS is eating up all of our normal time slots. So, you can write this down if you'd like, but until you see this on our events page on Twitch, it's not final. On the 15th, 16th, and 17th, we're doing an invite tournament for some 8 North American pros. That one's going to have a substantially larger prize pool than average and should be some pretty good games. You won't be disappointed with who we're getting for that. On top of that, we're actually going to be hosting some North American Open Cups, ideally on the 7th and the 10th. So 1 weekday, 1 weekend. Both of those should hopefully provide some good games depending on who shows up to play. I would certainly love to see some guys like Puck and others come out, but that's at least 5 more North American events within the next 2 weeks. We'll be doing at the 5 p.m. and onwards time zone so that we can get you guys some more cool content. So if you guys have been enjoying the show tonight, I'm not asking you to sub. I'm not asking you to donate. I'm just hoping to say that I'll see you later during one of those broadcasts. We're also doing some more European stuff, but who cares about those Euro trash? Am I right, guys? We're here for the North Americans. But no, I really seriously, again, just to recap briefly, our plans are, but not guaranteed, the 7th, the 10th, and then the 15th, 16th, and 17th of February, we should be hosting some North American focus content. I know the viewership will be lower and blah, 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 blue, but I think we'll have some good time because, to be honest, when the chat is like full of 10,000 people and we're getting some hype, that's always cool, but then I can't read chat and I feel like we don't relate to you guys nearly as much, and for me, that's like 50% of why I do this. I love... Some people hate that I spend time talking to chat while I should be casting like I'm doing right now. Some people love it. I'm in the category of loving it. So for me, I actually don't mind these lower viewership streams because it's a little bit easier to keep up to, like, multitask, basically. Cast the game, watch what's happening, and pay attention to Twitch chat. So anyways, love it or hate it. It's happening. Deal with it. See you guys for more StarCraft this month. But while unscheduled and unplanned and unannounced, as I said, this King of the Hill tonight is a bit of a test because I would like to do some kind of cool big event. And it feels like King of the Hill is what it needs to be. Total Biscuit, God bless, gone for a while. We haven't had any really cool big events for some time that do King of the Hills. And I would like to not necessarily try to fill his shoes, because fuck, I can't do that. But host something fun, yes, that I can do. So a lot of people voted on Twitter for a King of the Hill, and that's what we're kind of working towards. Are they eliminating ads? No ads for Twitch Prime members? Yes, Flames242. So that's why we shifted over. For years, we've never offered ad-free viewing to our subscribers. Tough luck, too bad, so sad, it funds the channel. But that's why we have, for the last few months, been experimenting with doing ad-free viewing for our subscribers to see how much it would hurt us. You know, do we lose out on thousands of dollars in ad revenue to do this nice gesture? And while I can't discuss those numbers, I gotta say, so far, it's actually not been as bad. We've definitely lost money, partially because it's January, but also because it's ad-free. But to be honest, I think it's an amount I could live with if it makes our subscribers happier. Anyways, looks like Future's lagging. Asking for a quick pause. Give him a second to settle. If he has troubles, we can always rehost if we need to, but we should be on the central server. Let me just double check that really quick. Yeah, we are on central. 3, 2, 1.
Game resumed.
Hopefully nothing too bad. Ice Wolfie, you've said it correctly. The guy who owns Splice has said it as well. I prefer 500 hardcore fans over 5,000 people who are just going to leave the second the show's over. I know even tonight we don't have 5 inch hardcore fans. But the point is, I totally agree. Now this Hellbat attack comes to bust up the ramp, and Sulky's got some transfuses, but those banelings are still not done just yet. If he can take out the Hellbats, the Queens can take out the rest. Snipes the medevac and shuts down Future's assaults. Very nicely done. Grabs a Marine on the exit too, and Hellbats, they're turning back home. They can't continue this fight. Good hold out of Silky. That's a move, by the way, that's a real blitz. In a best of 3, it's a lot easier to pull off, but in a best of 1, a risky move for our Terran. Remember, there's nothing to fall back to for Future. But he's already got $50 in his pocket. If he loses, well, that's not that big of a deal, I suppose. Just got another $10 coming from Gibby311. Gibby says, here's for some English... Fuck, I already messed this up. Here's for more English lessons. Or food. It's terrible. I only speak English, and even then, I don't do that very well. The only thing I do well is speak confidently as if I wasn't making a mistake. And that part I've got nailed down. At Friendly in chat says, yo, Riff, I'm going to be coming up to visit you with Katie next week. Oh, hell yeah, dude. We've never really gotten to hang out other than like briefly at TwitchCon. That's awesome. And I love Katie, so I'm excited to see you both, man. I'll poke you about that a little bit later, but that's really good news. Thanks for letting me know, man. There's 609 of us, which 109 aren't hardcore fans. Oh, fuck. Well, Diesel is probably at the top of that list. Because, I mean, we're talking about hardcore, and when I think of soft, I think of Diesel MP. Jinxed by whoever said Future has this, shake my head. I mean, to be fair, guys, Future knew the risks of that build he was going for. And it's on one of the new maps, too, so it's not like this was some big, crazy secret. No one's ever done this before. Typically, we actually see a lot more all-in builds on newer maps until the nuances get figured out. But I do want to highlight, he has followed up to do similar now as to what he did against Warren, and that's the double Thors. I like this because this reminds me a little bit of the old school way Gumiho used to play, but part of why that fell off was players started figuring it out. And while I can't guarantee you Silky knows this is coming, he's going to be a lot better off dealing with it with a lot of units rather than a little units. Sorry, I had a bit of a hiccup there. The reason the Hydras didn't work isn't because Hydras aren't good against Thors, it's because there was like 5 of them out for the attack. What's important is, oh no, hold the phone. If he starts bleeding out a lot of units now, then it's really not good. But I was going to say, he's got a lot of lings, he's got a lot of roaches, he's, going for Swarm Host too. Pushing these Thors back shouldn't be so confusing, and it shouldn't be so crazy. But if he breaks the Swarm Host, this is what's so delicate about this, right? Blue Flame will kill this Locust very easily. If Future breaks the first wave of Locusts without breaking too much of a sweat, then I think this game is over for Silky. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Silky's going to hold with this first wave of Swarm Hosts. That and being up several workers, a couple of bases. If Future goes for an all-in push similar to last game, I don't know it will work the same way. But he also doesn't necessarily look like he's doing that just yet. He's adding on more factories, he's going for upgrades. So while, yeah, it's cool and hype that he went for those Thors, he's not using them to harass, he's not using them for an attack. Did he cancel? Where are they? Oh, they're sitting here ready to be picked up. Silky's vision is kind of limited. This is actually not a great place for the defense, so this was actually a nice spot to put those first couple Locusts, but yeah, it's not the push I thought it was going to be. And that's okay. As Future wants to play a bit more defensive, he can be aggressive with things like these medevacs. They're not going to be easily picked out of the sky. Because it's Swarm Hosts and Roaches, there's no Hydras in play. There's no Mutas yet. So doing some drops like this on top of Locusts could actually go a long way. Not only does it put several Locusts on cooldown, it almost kills a couple of the Swarm Hosts. But easier said than done. As he drops into the thick of the army, he takes quite a bit of damage. He really wants to kill these Swarm Hosts, but oh, that Zerg regen keeps it alive a little bit longer. But for the non-meching Terran players of the world, or the non-Terran viewers, oh, this is a mistake. Don't lose those Thors. They're so important to later on. Okay, a couple go down. The point I was going to get into is Blue Flame. Blue Flame goes a long way, and it deals with Locusts so quickly. I love what Silky did by putting this in the mineral lines. Really hoping those tanks would cause some friendly fire kills. Picks up about 8 SCV kills. Not too bad. But this is the part of the Thors I wanted to get into. Many of you may not have been keeping up with this, but Thors were recently buffed. Well, they were nerfed in several ways, but they were buffed in one very important way. And it's Thors now, with 1 extra range, outrange a Broodlord. And of course, with their transformation mode, they deal tons of damage to specifically Broodlords. So, even in shitty lower league battles like I've experienced, it is clear as day how good Thors are at actually dealing with Broodlords. You no longer have to desperately go 40 Vikings, which, by the way, you could still do and never go for a single Thor in your life. But my point is, it's an option that wasn't there before. In future, not taking that option doesn't mean he'll lose the game, but it's something that we may see him visit later on. Pushing through these rocks is so terrifying, too. That's such a gross choke, but those locusts are mostly on cooldown. The Hellbats are on the wrong side, too, so the tank set up on the back. He's going to lose some tanks to these locusts. Okay, a tank, singular. Wasn't that bad. Thought it'd be worse. Trying to buy some time. Hello, is anyone friends with Lesta Paris? He gifted me a sub. I only just now realized. Lesta is actually from Kara's stream, the person who helped me put on tonight. Lesta came in and gifted out like 200 or 400. I think it was 400 subs. It was something really stupid. Something I've never like thought someone would do. But he gifted out a ton of subs when we were playing Sea of Thieves the other night. It was a lot of fun. He gifted Kara like straight up 1,000. But it's really nice that he came by and gifted some over here on BaseTradeTV. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, more on that later. The Broodlords are in play, and these Broodlords can deal with the tanks if they get to fight. But the Vikings shooting them out of the sky. Nothing to shoot back against those Vikings. I guess you don't need Thors if there's no Corruptors to cover these. And while Silky's putting up a hell of a fight with all these free units, he is ultimately being pushed into. He's losing ground with each of these battles. Now pushing up into the natural base. This is where the hive is. Looking to go south. The Swarm hosts are choked in that little corner behind the mineral lines, waiting so desperately for the Locusts to come up so they can fight again. And this time, there's no Blue Flame Hellbats, so they will take out the tanks and push Future back. Silky holds. This was not an easy hold, though, and make no mistake, most of the Broodlords still died. A lot of expensive losses there for Silky. And for somebody who's playing with so many Swarm hosts and playing with so many Broodlords, you know, all those quote-unquote free units that are made are still kind of costly in the long stretch, and this is why the resources lost looks as close as it does. Dumb and Wolf, thank you for the 200 bits tonight. It's been nuts! But tanks fire. Those Hydras get pushed back once again. This has been an actual back and forth, but this is great. This is why I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of tanks, lots of Swarm hosts. A stupid battle, to say the least, is about to ensue. This one poor lone Broodlord, so had to be joined by 3 more, but those were the Corruptors that were meant to be the anti-air to stop the Vikings. Never should you ever have 3 Vikings be the bane of your existence, but that's been the case here for Silky. It's really unfortunate, too. Margoo! Congratulations on being Gold League. Vipers can get this done in a pinch. A couple of abducts, or more importantly, parasitic bombs. But it won't matter because all the Broodlords are already dead. And the ground tank push, I guess, you know, we always forget tanks in unsieged mode deal a ton of damage, and they attack so fast. So they're actually dealing with these Locusts paired up with those Hellions not too poorly. A couple of these siege up in the backline to get that splash damage, turns this on the Hydras, and now those Locusts are all on cooldown for another 30-something seconds. 24, to be precise. Push around. That ramp's looking a little bit scary, a little bit choky. He doesn't know which way he wants to go. You notice he's gone north, he's gone south, but he's now started definitively pushing into the natural base. And remember, this is where the hive is, this is where the tech is. If Silky loses his footing here, and he can't push this back again, he might. Blinding Clouds are good. But if he can't push this back again, then he's dead. That's all of his tech getting reset. But drones are getting pulled into Blue Flame Hellbats. Locusts are coming in, but the tanks are just walking away from them. They land only to die to this Blue Flame. But oh, they take out several of the tanks before going down. Is that enough? Probably not. This game has been so scrappy. This might be it. Two guys in your car are licky emotes. I know it's being said jokingly in the chat, but I want to make something very clear, guys. Kara is actually a very good friend of mine, and whether this person was a guy or a girl, if this same deal for tonight came up, it would still happen. So even in joking, I just want to point out I really don't appreciate you guys making those jokes, and I would kindly ask you to shut it down, because I have prospects to do more work with Kara in the future, but I don't want to perpetrate this, so let's shut that down. But GG's, congratulations to Future. He takes another victory, and more importantly, has won $100 tonight. So let's see our totals here. That's 100 to Future, 25 to Warren, 25 to Raze, and 25 to Caleb Arrakis. Almost $200 in pricing just for a couple hours of StarCraft is really not too bad. Thank you, of course, everybody who came in tonight. Now we are going to quickly not end the stream by playing commercials, but go raid Kara Corvus. This is, again, her... So as soon as we raid her, she should be playing a video ad for you guys almost immediately. And it is very clearly an ad. It's a Twitch bounty, and this bounty is part of why we're able to make tonight happen. I had no plans to do StarCraft tonight. I love doing StarCraft tonight. Even with North American players, we got some fun as fuck games. But this was a test, and I think it went pretty well, and we'll see how many of you stick around on her stream. Remember, guys, even if you're not interested in watching, as long as you stick around and watch for just leave your monitor up, whatever, tab out, do something else. 3 minutes is all I'm asking of you, and it makes the world of difference. So we're going to go raid Kara's stream, give her some love. If you stick around and enjoy her, great. She's one of my best friends. If you take off after those 3 minutes, that's still just dandy, because we got some bonus StarCraft 2 content thanks to another streamer. Let's go give her some love. I'll see you guys on... I think Monday will be when we're next back officially, but maybe I'll pop up before then. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Ice Wolfie, if you're still lurking around, I'll hit you up on Discord in a little bit. But let's go raid Kara. See you guys later. Bye-bye.